your home looking its best for everybody coming by. So mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off at wiseguysprowash.com. Book now before the schedule fills up.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good afternoon. It is 12 o'clock on this Friday before Labor Day. I'm Sabrina Cupid. The news here at noon is sponsored by Jim Ellis Automotive. All right, if you're about to hop in the car and start your holiday weekend, this hour is said to be one of the busiest travel times of the Labor Day weekend.
And that extends really noon to 8 that Friday and Saturday is where you're going to see the heaviest traffic.
Natalie Dale with the Georgia DOT says Sunday traffic will be light before peaking again late Monday. She says always remember to buckle up.
And one thing that we have noticed is over half of the fatalities in our state, the individual wasn't wearing a seat belt.
She says the DOT will pause construction-related lane closures. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
And if you are flying tomorrow, expected to be the busiest day at Hartsfield-Jackson International. Just a few clouds around this afternoon, highs around 85, but will there be rain on your holiday weekend? WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming your way at 12:05. It has been 20 years ago today since Hurricane Katrina. Katrina making landfall in Louisiana and Mississippi, breaching levees in New Orleans. It was one of the deadliest hurricanes in history, killing hundreds of people. Hugh Keating is the mayor of Gulfport, Mississippi, one of the hardest hit areas. He says the city has bounced back.
We survived and we thrived. And we are on the verge and headed in the direction of newer and bigger and better things. And together, we're going to realize our full potential.
Katrina, by the way, also the costliest hurricane in U.S. history. Happening right now in Barrow County, first responders and multiple law enforcement agencies are taking part in a multi-agency functional training exercise. It's happening at Holzenbeck Elementary School. The teachers have a teacher planning day, so school is closed there. If you see the emergency vehicles and first responders, that is what is going on. Nicole Vallis with Barrow County Schools says drills like this have proven essential.
When we did it in March of 2024, before the incident, and after, it did help them know better how to respond and how they would work together.
She says these lengthy exercises mimic real events. The plan is to hold other training exercises like this one or offer video training at all schools within the county. Parents are concerned about school safety, and the latest Gallup poll shows more than 40% of parents are worried about their kids' physical safety while at school. The survey was conducted before Wednesday's shooting at that Minneapolis Catholic school that killed 2 students and injured 18 others. Findings show concerns about school safety have not been this high since March of 2001. All right, we told you earlier this week that a Fulton County judge was going to fine the county $10,000 a day over those unfilled Republican election board seats. Word now that the judge has delayed the order in order for the appeals process to play out. Commission Chairman Rob Pitts calling the delay great news for taxpayers. Republicans saying they expect their nominees will soon be seated. The appointments will be back on the agenda at the county commission meeting come next Wednesday. Sam's Club has settled a disability lawsuit over an incident that happened at the Douglasville location. A worker there was involved in an automobile accident, requested additional medical leave, according to the complaint, and Sam's Club denied her request and then fired her. The store's general manager told her that Sam's Club would not accommodate her injuries because they occurred outside of work. The wholesaler agreeing to pay $60,000 now to settle that lawsuit. Dragon Con is back. This is a huge pop culture convention. It happens here in Atlanta, and it focuses on science fiction and fantasy. So if you're around Metro Atlanta this weekend, you might see a lot of folks dressed up in costumes. The convention's Charles McFall.
DragonCon is what you make it. It is exactly who you are and where you want to be at the time that you're here.
He expects Deadpool to be the most popular costume this year. He says the convention also includes fun things for the entire family, including the kids. More than 70,000 people expected in town to attend that convention this weekend. J. Crew is coming under fire today after appearing to publish ads using artificial intelligence. The photographs look like prior J. Crew ads, but if you look closely, there are glitches. Trevor Alt has more.
Part of the criticism of AI advertising is that it's possible this art was specifically told to resemble the work real people had done who were not paid this time. And that is the big debate. If your work is used to train the AI for free, is that theft? Well, that depends on who you ask.
And J. Crew releasing a statement saying that they're always exploring new forms of creative expression. If you're planning to barbecue this Labor Day, it's going to cost you a little bit more this year. The cost of a Labor Day barbecue going up in cities all across the U.S. Atlanta, one of the cities seeing the biggest increase. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says groceries are up over 2% from this time last year on average. A recent analysis of barbecue ingredients showing Atlanta among the top 3 cities with the highest increase in cost. New York City seeing the highest jump in prices. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow right now is down 172 at 45,464. NASDAQ is also down more than a full percent. The S&P not far behind. Let's get a check of your roads now. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Is it busy?
It is already busy heading into downtown Sabrina, and we expect that to continue throughout today and the weekend with all the events happening this holiday weekend in downtown Atlanta. You're jammed up southbound from the 85-400 merge. Northbound delays start around University Avenue. And truck crash cleanup continues south side, 75 north. The ramp to 285 west, the interloop shut down in Clayton County. Think about Highway 1941 or Highway 54. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Now your 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta.
The frontal boundary has pushed the cloud cover well south of the metro area, so a little more sunshine for today, high 85, lows tonight in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a few light rain showers mainly south of I-20. Tomorrow as high as 81. Staying mostly cloudy on Sunday with some isolated rain showers or light drizzle possible, high 82. Monday, mostly cloudy, high 81. A cold front sweeping through on Tuesday and Wednesday, providing scattered rain showers and thunderstorms.
More news at 12:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Okay, friends, it's the 5K a day bonus blitz. The noon keyword is rich. R-I-C-H, rich. Enter the keyword rich into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 12:30 p.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is rich, R-I-C-H. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 12:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. The keyword is rich, R-I-C-H. Good luck.
Greetings, conversationalists. It's an open line Friday here at the Eric Erickson Show. The phone number 877-973-7425. Should you wish to be on the program, would be delighted to have you. Text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777. Get the show notes, the live stream, and so much more. We got to get into the fallout that's happening at the CDC because it directly impacts my family. If you're a longtime listener to the program, recent listener to the program, you probably know my wife has stage 4 lung cancer. Her cancer is not curable. It's based on a genetic mutation, and her body produces a protein. The protein is processed by her body by converting it into metastatic tumors. And she takes a pill every day, a chemo pill that actually keeps the protein from being produced. She can't get rid of the tumors, but the tumors don't grow. Now, I don't really care for purposes of this conversation what your position is on the COVID vaccine. We all got it in my house. I am, at this point, I think the only person I know who has never gotten COVID, ever. My wife got the COVID vaccine and got COVID. It was sold to us all as a vaccine that would keep us from getting COVID, which is not true. Now, follow along with me here. We got to have an off-the-internet conversation. My doctor, my wife's oncologist pleaded with my wife to get the COVID vaccine. In fact, all of us. And as I said on the radio at the time, I thought if you live with medically compromised people, you should consider getting it for yourself in terms of love your neighbor. Never supported government mandates on the COVID vaccine. We all got it because my wife is immunocompromised. We did not want to get COVID and then give it to my wife and kill her. My wife was one of the very first people, she was in the first group of people, I should say, to be able to get the COVID vaccine as they rolled it out. It was one of the things that to this day, Donald Trump laments he can't take credit for it because of people's views on the vaccine and how the Biden administration handled it and rolled it out. But it was one of the genius things that the Trump administration did, Operation Warp Speed, developing this COVID vaccine, getting it out there. Some people have had problems with it. Some people don't trust the data that shows it actually reduced deaths. There's lots of skepticism, lots of misinformation. Lots of people believe things that disagree with each other. But here's the situation in my family with my wife talking about our health, not your health, not what you read on the internet, but our personal experience with the COVID vaccine. My wife was in the first group of people to get it. Her pharmacist asked if she would do a daily check-in, and they never expected the daily stream of profanity. The COVID vaccine made my wife so sick, she could not get out of bed. She was writhing in misery in her bed for multiple days. It was horrible. And every day she would text the pharmacists with a string of expletives, cussing them out for daring to have given her this awful vaccine that made her so sick. My kids and I got it. Again, her doctor's like, y'all need to get it. Your wife's got stage 4 lung cancer, so we got it. We didn't have problems. Then the booster came. My wife was hesitant to get the booster because she'd gotten the vaccine. The booster was actually worse than the vaccine. I got sick on the booster. I remember I was going to the first game of the Dodgers-Braves playoffs, and I was miserable. I had to get a hotel room. I was too sick to drive myself home. And the next morning I was fine. My kids, same way, next fine. My wife, days in bed, miserable from the booster. And her doctor said to her that based on the research, it is their belief that the COVID vaccine triggers an immune response similar to what you would get if you got COVID, though less severe. So if it was that bad for her with the COVID vaccine, it would be far worse with COVID. Some of you will say, well, that's speculation. You can't know. It's subjective. We're going to trust our oncology expert. When my wife did get COVID, because you take the vaccine, you get COVID, she had a runny nose. 48 hours of feeling a little worn down and a runny nose. That was it. 48 hours later, totally fine. Now, she didn't get COVID. She had the booster, I guess, and the vaccine in 2021. She got COVID late 2021, early 2022. And it was nothing. I mean, it was 48 hours of sniffles. And she thought it was so minor. I'm not getting this vaccine again. The vaccine was so awful. I simply am not getting this vaccine ever again. And she didn't. I haven't talked much about it. My wife does strongman competitions. She pulls UPS trucks for fun. Yes, my wife pulls UPS trucks for fun. She got COVID in October. She has not been able to compete since. She's only in the last few months had enough strength to go to the gym regularly. She hasn't had a vaccine booster since early 2021, I think. Mid-2021, my wife has not been the same since she got COVID in October last year. And it's not long COVID. It's just, it wiped her out so much. She was in bed for the COVID vaccine and the booster. She was in bed for 3 days, miserable. She's in bed for about a month. Struggling to get out of bed, struggling to function, struggling to do anything in life. And it's taken her forever to get back on her feet. And it so weakened her that then the next sickness weakened her, and then the next one weakened her, and it was all the triggering event was she got COVID. She got COVID in October of last year. Her doctor had told her, if you don't get the vaccine and you get COVID, it's not going to be good. And she's like, the vaccine was so bad, I think I'll take my chances. And she came up on the wrong side of the odds. All that to say, she's decided, given how bad COVID was, she'll risk the vaccine. And now she can't get it thanks to Robert Kennedy Jr. Kennedy has blown up the vaccine panel at the CDC. The CDC leadership, they've all walked out the door. Some were fired, others quit. CVS, which is where our insurance prefers for my wife to take care of things, said we don't have it, we're not going to get it, and if we do get it, you can't get it unless you go through the hassle of getting your sign-off from your doctor. You got to get a prescription, but it's going to be a little while. So all the people who said it should be your choice are telling me on social media. In fact, it's weird. I woke up this morning and saw a bunch of people who think you should be able to buy ivermectin over the counter without a doctor's prescription, telling me that my wife not only shouldn't get the COVID vaccine, but doesn't need it. A lot of armchair doctors who apparently got their medical degree from Twitter telling my wife how to live her life. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm telling you that in my wife's experience, our family's experience, COVID was so awful, she's going to get the vaccine because her oncologist, her pulmonologist, her cardiologist, and her general physician all tell her, you should get the vaccine. So do I go with random person with a lot of numbers after their name on Twitter, or do we go with the immunologist, the cardiologist, the pulmonologist, the oncologist, the primary care physician? Who do I go with here? Random troll on Twitter or all of these doctors? We'll go with the doctors, of course. If you don't want it, that's fine. Don't take it. My wife at this point has decided, given how bad COVID was, she wants it, and now she can't get it because of Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, here's your plot twist. Here is your plot twist. There are a number of people who replied, you voted for this. You deserve this. I have one guy, in fact, let me read you the tweet from the one person on social media. His account says it all, actually. His account is Republicans are villains. And his tweet is, as a cancer survivor, I refuse to have sympathy for your wife in this situation because I know who you are. You helped create the atmosphere that led us, the Trump regime, that proudly campaigned on the phrase, we're not going to listen to experts. Trump campaigned that he would like RFK Jr., who does not have any medical training, run wild on public health. What your wife's going through is a mild inconvenience compared to the adult and child cancer patients who have had studies shut down, funding not pulled, or were deported mid-treatment. So, yeah, I feel bad for her wife, but I feel worse for you because you helped cause this chaos. So I can't spell, doesn't understand. But, yeah, as a cancer survivor, I refuse to have sympathy for your wife because you did this. You elevated Trump. So, the Trump supporters will be delighted to know that I helped get Trump elected because they think I hate him. They tell me I'm never Trump. Here's the plot twist. Do you know why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in place? Yeah, Trump picked him, but you know why? Because the very same medical community, and if you're at the CDC, if you work at the CDC, if you walked out today in protest, if you stood on the sidelines and you cheered on those who have defied Trump and walked off the job today, I want you to hear me. You told us, those of you at the CDC, you told us we needed to shut down the country for 2 weeks, which became in some cases 6 months, which in some cases became a year. You wouldn't let us hold the hands or even touch our grandparents as they died. You separated us from everyone. You took our kids out of school and degraded their educations. You did it. You say you didn't do it. It was you and your evidence that turned out not to be based on science that caused all of these policies to be put in place. And then you, I nearly said a bad word, a-holes, could not even tell gay men to stop having sex for 2 weeks to stop the spread of monkeypox. The very same people at the CDC, I am talking to you people at the CDC, you told us to shut down the country, stay inside, and don't go to school to stop the spread of COVID, and could not tell gay men to not have sex for just 2 weeks to stop the spread of monkeypox. You told us to socially distance, and now we know you just made it up. You never apologized. We have Robert F. Kennedy because Donald Trump got elected. And Donald Trump got elected in large part because of you people who decided to become petty tyrants to control us as a social experiment. And people got fed up. And the net result of your lies and your arrogance is that a whole lot of people no longer trust experts. Because you use your credentials and credentialism to tell us things as experts that turned out not to be true. And when your favored group started spreading diseases, you couldn't do to them what you did to everyone else. And so a lot of Americans decided to burn it all down and put a moron conspiracy theorist like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in place because they found him more credible than the people who say pregnant person. If you can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. Because I witnessed it. I saw the shutdowns. And you know what? I was okay with the shutdowns for the first couple of weeks. It kind of made sense. As everybody stays home, nobody's going to get this virus. It'll burn through the people who have it and will go away. Except what we found out is that people were showing up at people's houses. People were spreading it. People had to go to the grocery store. They were going to get it. And you didn't change tactics. It became obvious it wasn't working. And then you told us all the vaccine would make sure no one got the COVID virus, and it didn't work that way. And you never said, oops, our bad. Certainly it helps people like my wife. She would like to get it. She can't because the RFK kerfuffle at the CDC has made it impossible. And yes, he is the proximate cause. But he would not be there, and we would not be in the situation but for you people at the CDC who broke people's trust and never apologized. You told us to stay in our houses for months on end to avoid the spread. And when gay men started spreading monkeypox, you couldn't even tell them just don't have sex for 2 weeks, which was actually the advice to give them. Instead, the monkeypox guru for Joe Biden said one person's bad disease is another person's good time or something like that. He literally said something like that on TV. He's been ousted at the CDC now. Resigned, I think. Put his pronouns in his signature line and used the phrase pregnant person. I'm sorry, but if you can't recognize you people played a serious role in this, I got nothing for you except what I'm telling you is the God's honest truth.
Have something to say? Hello. Call the show. 1-877-97-ERIC. That's 1-877-973-7425.
1221 Cool Ray Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Looking for new trouble on the south side on I-75 northbound in McDonough and Henry County. Approaching Jonesboro Road, exit 221. You're stacked up back toward Locust Grove. Might want to think about Highway 42 while we figure out what's going on down there. Once you get past that, they're still cleaning up the truck fire from this morning on the 75 north ramp to 285 westbound, the inner loop. That ramp remains shut down for right now. You can take Tara Boulevard, Highway 54, Jonesboro Road. Some good options to get you up to that south side perimeter. Traffic brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you with just one pill. Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Okay, friends, it's the 5K a day bonus blitz. The noon keyword is rich. R-I-C-H, rich. Enter the keyword rich into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 12:30 p.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is rich, R-I-C-H. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 12:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. The keyword is rich, R-I-C-H. Good luck.
The Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hi, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You know Josh. That's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks, Josh. Welcome back. Tell me something unique you've had at your home that's not top of mind for maybe the rest of us.
It's my whole home generator. This is one of my favorite things. I forget I have it until the power goes out, and then all of a sudden I have internet, I have TV, I have a refrigerator, I can open my garage door, my pool pump runs, I have heat in the winter, I have cooling during the summer. We've put in tons of these for people that have medical equipment, they have refrigerators, they have freezers, they have aquariums, they have pools, even people with wine chillers. But most importantly, we put them in for people who don't want to be in the dark when the power goes out.
We've had every kind of weather this past few months, and in the newsroom, we know the biggest problem here when this happens is the power outages.
Your power goes out and you lose everything.
Great insights, Josh. I just added a whole home generator to my wish list.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement? I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years. The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
This is Scott Slade, updating my health story. I get a checkup every year, and last September, my primary care physician was troubled by a suspicious number on my lab work. Well, that led to a diagnosis early enough to give me options, and I'm more optimistic than ever about a good outcome. Now, when we're talking about our health, level with your providers if you think you have a problem. We all need expert eyes looking us over every so often. That's where virtual imaging can be invaluable. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can give you time and options for early treatment, especially for cancer. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is extending their core body scan offer for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response, they've opened up more times in both offices. But appointments will fill up fast for this offer, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your Virtual Imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com. That's virtualimagingatl.com. Do it now, while you still have options.
The end of summer doesn't have to be the end of your fun. Your backyard can be your family's happy place all year long in a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Shop our huge Labor Day sale with instant rebates up to $2,500 and special financing for 60 months. Hurry, offer ends September 3rd. Brown's Pools and Spas, celebrating 50 years of brownspools.com.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Welcome. It is Eric Erickson here. So I found the tweet I was thinking about from Twitchy.com. This is Dimitri Daskalakis. He's the CDC doctor who posed in a leather pentagram harness. Yep, tells you everything you need to know about him. Who uses the phrase pregnant person instead of pregnant woman, was on MSNBC talking about monkeypox. He was one of the ones who insisted it needed to be called Mpox to decrease the stigma. Just listen to this.
I work in HIV normally, and I'll tell you that, I always say that I've never made an HIV diagnosis in someone that hasn't somehow related to stigma. I think Mpox is the same. So really, stigma tends to be a barrier to testing, a barrier to vaccination. And so, really addressing stigma intentionally and making sure that we get the word out in a way that supports people's joy as opposed to, calling them risky. So I think, one of the things to think about is that, one person's idea of risk is another person's idea of a great festival or Friday night, for that matter. So we have to sort of embrace that with joy and make sure that folks know how to keep themselves safe.
You got that? We got to embrace it with joy. We got to embrace it with joy. Can't tell gay men just don't have sex for 2 weeks to stop the spread of monkeypox. No, but the rest of you stay in your houses for months on end and don't send your kids to school to stop COVID. Okay, I got to tell you about Old Glory Bank before I get out of here, and their free resources right now. If you hadn't checked these out, you should just go see them. They're completely free. oldglorybank.com/smart. They got a lot of good tips on how to teach your kids money skills, banking skills, how to invest, how to grow money, how to keep it safe, how to bank. It's all free. You can use as part of a homeschool curriculum, conversations around the dinner table, oldglorybank.com/smart. And then if your kid is ready to get a bank account, Old Glory Bank has lots of great options. They've got savings accounts, checking accounts, business checking and savings. I've got a checking account and a savings account with them. You go to oldglorybank.com/smart today. Get signed up. I got the no-fee checking, no-fee savings account. They've got the interest-bearing accounts as well with the fee. Unless you're active duty military or veteran, you can get those fees waived. Lots of options for you. Check them out. oldglorybank.com/smart. The information there is free of charge. oldglorybank.com/smart. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply.
The U.S. is investing up to $1 billion to fight the spread of bird flu.
At the top and bottom of every hour.
Traffic congestion around Metro Atlanta continues to cost commuters.
And when it breaks.
The suspect is in critical condition after being struck multiple times.
Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day for the latest.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station. Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 12:30. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Jim Ellis Automotive. A new study out today suggests some children between the ages of 3 and 5 who've been diagnosed with ADHD are prescribed drugs before behavioral treatment has a chance to address their symptoms. Researchers found that 4 in 10 of the 1.4% of preschool-aged children diagnosed with ADHD, most of them boys, were prescribed a medication within 30 days of being diagnosed. Lead author Dr. Yair Bennett.
In this young age group, it seems that there is more effectiveness in trying these behavioral approaches than starting with medications.
Now, the researchers looked through electrical medical records of more than 712,000 children who were patients in 8 pediatric health systems in the U.S. The study was published in the JAMA Network Open. Your weather for today, a few clouds around, afternoon highs around 85. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. It is the Labor Day weekend, the start of it right now, and travel will be peaking this afternoon on our interstates. Natalie Dale with the Georgia Department of Transportation says it's going to be busy all weekend long. Several big events in town here in Metro Atlanta, so you need to have a plan.
Atlanta is Atlanta. People come to Atlanta for many things, and of course we have great football and different events Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, MARTA's providing extra rail service tomorrow and Sunday because of the crowds, and they'll have additional police officers around in those busy areas. All right, just in time for lunch, Taylor Fresh Foods recalling salad kits that were sold in 25 states, including right here in Georgia. Some of the honey balsamic salad kits may contain undeclared sesame and soy allergens after individual packets of dressings and toppings incorrectly included Asian sesame ginger dressing instead of the honey balsamic, that could be an issue for those who are allergic. Taylor Fresh Foods has not received any reports of any illnesses right now connected to these recalled salad kits. It is 12:32.
If your air conditioning isn't working well, I want you to call the folks I trust at Ragsdale Heating and Air. This is Scott Slade. These are great people, many with the company for 10, 20, even 30 years. And if you need a new system, they're extending their biggest specials of the summer off a new Carrier home comfort system. And that includes Ragsdale's own 15-year parts and labor warranty. Ragsdale is HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and insulation all under one roof, all with a standard of excellence that's earned over 10,000 five-star reviews. Go to ragsdaleair.com or call them. Ragsdale is a name I know you can trust.
Start your day refreshed with a delicious breakfast sandwich deal from Quick Trip. Choose from classics like the sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, the ham, egg, and cheese biscuit, or the melty bacon, egg, and cheese grilled cheese. And get ready to really wake up because it comes with
any small Red Bull of your choice, all for $5. Woo! Let's go!
That's any breakfast sandwich.
Plus a Red Bull for just $5. Yeah!
QT.
More than a gas station.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Avoid the stress of listing your home on the market and sell your home fast for all cash with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about repainting your scuffed up walls or fixing your leaky faucet. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer allows you to bypass the market, receive an all cash offer, and close in as little as 21 days. There are no showings, no open houses, and no costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate makes selling your home stress free. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
All right, live team coverage of traffic and weather, Alex Williams.
And some better news down there in Henry County, Sabrina. That trouble spot that was on 75 north around Jonesboro Road, exit 221, looks like it's cleared, but still watching the volume. That's going to include the holiday volume throughout the weekend coming up out of Locust Grove. And good news, left lane of the ramp back open on the 75 north ramp to 285 west, the inner loop in Clayton County by the airport. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 85.
We'll have more news at 1 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I hope you are doing well. The phone number is 877-973-7425 should you wish to be on the program. Very happy to have you. Before I get to the phones, I want to put something on your radar, because this is kind of wild. Years ago, Tucker Carlson was asked about the 9/11 truthers who believed that it was an inside job done by the government or by the Jews or someone. He referred to them, I believe, was parasites, not grifters, but parasites. Carlson is now promoting a video series, 5 episodes of his documentary that will be unveiled on September 11th. For nearly 25 years, the true story of 9/11 has been withheld from the American people. Why? We decided to find out for ourselves. And it releases some level of just wild promo that maybe the government knew and foreign governments knew, and there was a cover-up and on and on and on and on, casting all sorts of doubts. Again, several years ago, he referred to people like that as parasites. Now, while Carlson's doing that, and by the way, maybe some of you are 9/11 truthers, you've become detached from reality yourselves. Okay. But Candace Owens, who is she and Carlson seem more and more allied of late, she is out blaming the government for what happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Candace Owens says it was actually a government operation of some kind. So you got Carlson now wanting to revisit 9/11 and make it some sort of inside job. You've got Candace Owens out there now claiming that the government was involved. You notice how the shift is now to cede to vulnerable, impressionable people that you can't even trust the Trump administration. You can't trust the government at all. There's the deep state, the saboteurs, whatever. It's all in government, and it's sowing distrust in government. And there are a couple points I want to make here. One, if you don't police your own side, the crazy tends to take over. Look at the left. On the left, they will not police their own anti-Semites, their fringe positions, and those fringe positions now dominate the Democratic Party. The fringe positions dominate the Democratic Party. Instead of pregnant women, it's pregnant people or birthing person. Instead of breastfeeding, chest feeding. It's the use of pronouns. Lots of pronouns. And the he, hims, the she, hers, the they, thems, the these, hers. And you're expected to honor that stuff. You're expected to embrace that stuff. And it's crazy stuff. The word games they play. Remember Third Way, the Democratic Consulting Group came out the other day and said, please stop using these words, and progressives were all offended by it. And a lot of Democrats said, we've already moved beyond this. I don't know why they brought this out now. And then you got to the Democratic National Convention. They literally started the Democratic National Convention with an apology and land acknowledgement. Sane people do not do land acknowledgments. The kooks have taken over the Democratic Party. Carlson and Owens have large followings. We're seeing the elevation, and frankly, Joe Rogan plays a role in this. Joe Rogan loves to elevate kooky conspiracy theorists and mainstream their views. He's got lots of people who listen, some who lack discernment, and he's elevated lots of conspiracy theorists. He's elevated lots of anti-Semites. Some of you now regularly say all the conspiracies have turned out to be true. No, some of the things people said weren't so, but that wasn't a conspiracy. But you don't know the difference between just someone saying something that's not true and a conspiracy now. The problem is when you don't police your own side, this stuff starts to infect. That's why William F. Buckley, through the John Birchers, he had the clout within the conservative movement back in the day to throw the John Birchers out. Now CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference, has invited the John Birchers back in, and they're a bunch of nutty conspiracy theorists. Look at the rabid anti-vaccine crowd, and God help me, you should see when I talk about vaccines, the people who learn from Joe Blow 381119975 on Twitter about vaccines, they just explode in rage that I would recommend you get vaccines that have been one of the great medical miracle breakthroughs of the 20th century, saving lots and lots of lives. Yes, it is true. There are some vaccines that are overrated. COVID vaccine be one of them. It can boost your immunity, ask my wife, but doesn't stop COVID. But the MMR, my gosh. The HPV vaccine, which I was initially skeptical of because the pharmaceutical companies that made it were pushing it so hard, has wiped out cervical cancer among those who have taken it. If you take the HPV vaccine, you will not get cervical cancer. And now you can lecture me all you want. Well, that's a lifestyle choice and on and on and on and on. But the HPV vaccine has wiped out cervical cancer. A vaccine wiping out cancer. These are incredible breakthroughs. And yet you go online, you find all sorts of people with all sorts of weird conspiracy theories. Someone replied to me about my wife, that people who got the COVID vaccine had a 30% increase in their chance of catching COVID. Sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? You get the COVID vaccine, you actually have a 30% higher rate of COVID. Turns out they misread the study from the Cleveland Clinic. They cited a Cleveland Clinic study. The Cleveland Clinic has come out and said they've completely got it upside down. You actually have a vastly reduced chance of getting COVID if you take the COVID vaccine. And if you do get COVID, you have less of a reaction. That's what the Cleveland Clinic showed. And yet the people who cite it, because Joe Blow 31998755314 on Twitter showed them, they got a 30% increase. People have stopped being grounded in truth. They hear what they think is true. They go down rabbit holes. They get lied to. The lie is convincing. They believe it, and you can't deprogram them. It's like the people who can't believe that the World Trade Center collapsed because jets hit it. I remember reading the story of the 9/11 truther who changed his mind. Because he was convinced it had to be an inside job because a plane hitting the World Trade Center, it couldn't have collapsed the towers. There had to be a controlled demolition. He had totally bought into it. Until he saw that very famous picture of sunlight pouring through the World Trade Center. You've all seen that picture? It's a beautiful picture of the old World Trade Center, the Twin Towers. Sunlight pouring through at the perfect angle on the perfect day, the whole building lit up, and you can see through the building and realize the only major support were the elevator shafts. And it was that moment when he saw that picture of the structural build of because he was an engineer. He was an engineer, and he convinced himself that that the heat of the jets, the fuel, couldn't melt the steel. And when he saw that picture and saw how the World Trade Center was actually built, he realized, oh, they totally could have, and he changed on a dime. People just want to believe what they want to believe. The internet fuels it. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't police your own side, you risk getting taken. Look at the insanity on the left right now. Look at the transgender crowd. Look at the abortion zealots. Look at the environmental wackos. The left never called them out, never stood up to them, never wanted to police them on their nonsense, and now they dominate. It's why you got to stand up. It's why some of you get mad at me for criticizing my own side. I think if we don't police our side, we wind up like them. When you have Tucker Carlson out revising 9/11 history, when you have Candace Owens out saying that the government was behind the school shooting in Minneapolis, when you have TPUSA platforming anti-Semites, if you don't speak out, people think it's acceptable. And when the people think that level of insanity is acceptable, it expands and it spreads and it festers. And pretty soon you wonder, where did all the insanity come from? Well, the insanity came inside and you did nothing. It's like when you see a roach and you don't exterminate the roach. Pretty soon, don't be surprised when your house is covered in roaches. You got to clean up. You got to get rid of the crumbs. You got to clean the house. You got to kill the roaches, or else they're going to take over. The same thing happens with the fringe kooks on both sides. And the Democrats saw the roaches coming in, and they did nothing. Now look at them. I don't want that happening on our side. Now, to the phones I go. I'm going to start with Bill in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you for taking my call. I called to congratulate you on your logical and practical analysis of situations of both sides. For example, it was about the vaccination. You're right. The credentialed people oftentimes destroy their credibility when they're wrong, and they don't acknowledge it, just as some of our leaders do too. Now, I'm from Oklahoma, the reddest state in the land of the free. But I'm with you. We have to police our own. And what I talked to your screener about was a wise man once told me, we were talking about these experts, and his analysis was that an expert is nothing but a drip under pressure. And that's exactly what we saw. Those people were flawed. They were flawed, and they were put under pressure. In their defense, now I have to say there was so much floating around, so many theories and philosophies about the COVID, I call it the plague, when it hit, that you didn't know what to believe, and everything was exaggerated, and human nature being what it is, people ran around willy-nilly believing what, as you said, what they want to believe.
Right.
So anyway, and like I say, as far as statistics go, figures don't lie, but liars figure. And that's what we've gotten to in this country. Everybody has their agenda, and I took statistics. No, it was statistics. I understand. I know that in class, and one of the things we had to do was take a position and prove it and disprove it with statistics and surveys and stuff like that. That was part of the test. So you lose faith in statistics right off the bat.
I appreciate you say that. My kid is actually going through that in high school right now in 11th grade. In one of his classes, they made every kid in class announce their position on a topic. I forget what the topic was. Every kid in class had to announce their position on a topic. and is now being required to write a paper refuting the position that they say they believe, as a way to show them you got to understand the other side and how you can use statistics both for you and against you. I was kind of impressed with that as a homework assignment. All the kids are deeply frustrated by it. My son is actually kind of relishing the opportunity because, well, that's his personality, but a lot of the kids are not happy about it, that they got a right to disprove their positions. Y'all, I got to tell you about Americans for Prosperity. They want you to take one small step for freedom. They want you to take just one small step for freedom. And if we all do it, we will have all advanced our community's freedom. You go to afpvolunteer.com today. You sign up with AFP. And everybody commits to this 250,000 Steps for Freedom Challenge, 250,000 Steps for Freedom Challenge. Not you taking 250,000 steps for freedom, but 250,000 of us taking one step for freedom. And guess what? We make our country a freer place. It begins in your own community, taking a step in your community for freedom in time for the 250th birthday of our nation. You go to afpvolunteer.com, afpvolunteer.com. You sign up with Americans for Prosperity today. You engage with them, and they can also help you become a great activist fighting for freedom in this country. But right now, in time for our birthday, take one small step for freedom. Go see what I mean. Learn more, afpvolunteer.com.
Honest.
Putting your trust in me to tell you what's going on.
Transparent.
I need you to know this from the bottom of my heart.
Giving you the information without the noise.
My job isn't to tell you what you want to hear, it's to tell you the truth.
It's the Erick Erickson Show.
1250 Cool Day Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. A slow one into Midtown and downtown, heading southbound from the 85-400 merge. Buford Spring Connector slows at the same spot. Trying to make your way into Midtown and downtown, you're going to stay slow 75-85 south down toward William Street. Northbound delays Langford Parkway up toward University Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
No way! The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
I just won $1,000 from WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 2
I am
p.m.
so excited.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
When markets get rocky, the worst thing you can do is nothing. Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president and founder of Nicholas Wealth Management. Times like these demand action and a plan you can trust. That's why we rely on our trademark Retire Ready Bucket strategy. This strategy is designed to place a percentage of your portfolio into lower risk, income producing income bucket, aiming to generate steady cash flow for the first 10 to 15 years of retirement. Meanwhile, your growth bucket is filled with dividend and growth stocks, which has time to recover when markets are going crazy. So call Nicholas Wealth today at 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com to schedule a time to sit down with our team to review your plan. This strategy was crafted by experience. It's battle tested, and it's how you aim to keep your retirement on track even when the markets are not. So call Nicholas Wealth today at 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com. At Nicholas Wealth Management, we're prepared. Are you? Don't wait for the next headline to shake your confidence. Call Nicholas Wealth today, 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com. Nicholas Wealth Management. Retire ready.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Neither the information nor any opinion expressed is to be construed as solicitation to buy or sell a security or personalized investment, tax, or legal advice.
Hi, this is Megan, your friend and jeweler from Shane Company. Did you know not all warranties are created equal? At Shane Company, our free lifetime warranty is all-inclusive and even protects the diamond in your engagement ring. We can offer such an incredible warranty because our rings are crafted to last a lifetime. As your friend and jeweler, our gift to you is peace of mind. At Shane Company, we also cover unlimited repairs, resizings, and cleanings for free for life, saving you thousands over time. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT core body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
All the news, weather, and traffic you need. 95.5 WSB.
On the go, take Eric's podcast with you. Available wherever you stream your favorite podcast. Search Eric Erickson.
Hello there. It is Eric Erickson here. Open Line Friday, 877-973-7425. Yes, we will get into, demons, evil, and all that stuff. Like I said yesterday, the third hour of the program, you're going to have to wait for it then. You're going to have to wait for it because we got a lot of other stuff that has been put on the back burner that we got to get to. When we come back, actually, the Democrats and the media have decided that they will talk about gun control now. They're just not going to talk about all those other inconvenient facts in Minneapolis. Brian, you're going to be up next. Welcome to the show, Brian. How are you?
I'm great, Eric. It's good to talk to you.
You too.
I know you've been telling us the last couple of weeks about how state environmentalists and progressive states are the regulations that they put in place, how they affect industry nationwide. In automotive, in trucking, things like that. I want to talk to you about. I've spent my entire career working in aviation and defense, and there are things that state level bureaucrats are doing that detrimentally affect our national defense, because we have bases in a lot of these progressive states where you're not allowed to have certain types of paints, coatings, primers, fluids, sealants, all that kind of stuff, and they put all these additional, very restrictive procedural requirements on you. And it can really cost a lot more money. It causes things to break down and wear out faster. It costs us a lot more money to have things built or maintained there. A lot of our newest stuff is being built in facilities in California, developing facilities in California. And those state-level things are stuff that we have to work around, even though it's not any kind of a federal restriction. And I really feel like we should have some type of law passed where those things don't apply to a military base. You know?
Yeah,
so,
I honestly, Brian, I assumed that they didn't apply to the military bases. So I'm learning something here too. I guess it makes sense that given federal comedy with state law that it wouldn't. But yeah, that is they are driving up costs and hurting people, which is just kind of wild to me.
Hurts the taxpayers. It keeps our weapon systems unavailable for longer, makes them more expensive to maintain, more expensive to build. And hey, I just want to let you know something for your daughter, since she talked about she's wants to go into engineering.
Yeah,
Palace Acquire and Smart Scholar. Those are two programs that the Air Force has that she could come in as a civilian engineer, and they would have her come work for a year, and then she would go to school full time to get her master's degree, and they would pay for the entire master's degree and pay her an engineer's salary while she's in school full time, and then she would come back with a guaranteed job with guaranteed promotions and pay increases as long as she hits her developmental goals. And she'd only have to, basically sign up for a couple of years worth of, like a commitment to stay for X number of years to basically pay, to cover the cost of all the.
I will mention that one to her. She actually
really
was very interested in the Marines. It's not a bad one. And look, Brian, thanks very much for the phone call. I appreciate it. When we come back, y'all, we gotta pivot to the willingness of the Democrats now to go full bore into gun control. A conversation they wanted nothing to do with after Donald Trump was shot. You'll recall. There were no conversations about gun control when the president was nearly assassinated, but after the school shooting, they're all back to gun control. Some wild claims out there. And by the way, Scott Jennings last night, I rarely play audio from the Abby Phillips show because I just hate to promote it. I think it's such a terrible product on CNN, but he exposed the just unhingedness of the progressive left with one statement on that program last night. I've got the audio. I want to play it for you. When we come back, and I'll take your calls as well, 877-973-7425.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
I've listened to many arguments, and there are good arguments to say that we shouldn't. So I'm just saying.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
This is the only way to do it. Some people are going to lose their job, and then they're going to be put back in the job.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
It's about you. You're being celebrated.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, who is from Georgia, is fighting in court today to keep her job as her legal battle against President Trump's unprecedented move to terminate her officially begins. Natalie Brand, following the story from Washington.
Attorneys for Lisa Cook asked a judge to block President Trump from removing her from the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Cook's attorneys argue the Trump administration violated her due process rights for trying to terminate her based on an unsubstantiated allegation of mortgage fraud. The White House continues to defend the move, saying the president determined there was cause to remove a governor who is credibly accused of lying in financial documents.
And once again, President Trump claiming that Cook committed mortgage fraud to justify her removal from the Fed board, one of the properties here in Metro Atlanta. And of course, the president wants to see interest rates cut. The board actually sets interest rates. All right, your weather for today. A few clouds, highs around 85, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. We told you earlier this week that a Fulton County judge was going to fine the county $10,000 a day for those unfilled Republican election board seats. Word now that the judge has delayed the order in order for the appeals process to play out. Commission Chairman Rob Pitts calling the delay great news for taxpayers. The appointments will be back on the agenda at the County Commission meeting next Wednesday. In Barrow County, a multi-agency training exercise being conducted at Holzenbeck Elementary School today. It's an effort to be better prepared in the event of an emergency like a school shooting. Nicole Vallis with the Barrow County School System says training drills like this are necessary.
To just get that experience. I feel like ideally, I think Sheriff Judd Smith even said, he would love if every school would do something like this.
And she says the plan is to expand the program or at least have videos on emergency preparedness at every school within the district. And this just in, University of Georgia fans will not be able to ring the famed chapel bell on North Campus if the Dogs beat Marshall tomorrow. It's out of service because of rot discovered in wood support beams. University of Georgia says engineers are working on a plan for repairs. The area around the bell is fenced off. There's no estimated time to have the chapel bell back in service. Ringing that bell has been a tradition after Georgia victories dating back to 1894. It's 102.
Back to school season is busy, but making your home shine doesn't have to be. I'm Chris Chandler. Wise Guys Pro Wash had my house, driveway, deck, even the roof looking spotless, and I didn't even have to be home. Their soft washing keeps everything safe, no damage, just results you will love. And with more than 2,000 five-star reviews, you'll see why everybody's calling Wise Guys. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Book today at wiseguysprowash.com.
The end of summer doesn't have to be the end of your fun. Your backyard can be your family's happy place all year long in a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Shop our huge Labor Day sale with instant rebates up to $2,500 and special financing for 60 months. Hurry, offer ends September 3rd. Brown's Pools and Spas, celebrating 50 years of brownspools.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Dave Baker here with a custom spacious closet from Artisan. You'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
It's 1:05, time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Watching the brake lights into the heart of the city now, starting on 400 southbound south of Lenox Road. You stay stacked up 85 and 75 southbound, trying to make your way into Midtown and downtown. 85 northbound up in Swanee, getting slow out of Duluth from Sugarloaf Parkway up to 985. And seeing delays on the south side. 75 northbound packed in out of Locust Grove, making your way up through McDonough, but improving into Stockbridge. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 85, partly cloudy for tonight, lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Rain showers will be light and mainly south of I-20. Tomorrow's high is 81, mostly cloudy on Sunday, high 82.
It is 79 degrees right now in Mableton, 80 degrees in Roswell, and 80 degrees in Buckhead. We'll have more news at 1:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
0, all engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. It is Eric Erickson here across the nation. The phone number is 877-973-7425. Should you wish to be on the program, happy to have you. Scott Jennings on CNN last night. This is too good not to share. Scott Jennings completely caused the gals at CNN to melt down last night when he made one very basic point, and I love how he does this too. I love how he does this. He just makes a statement with a smile and sits back and knows it's so easy to trigger the left right now. Just listen to this.
You realize that you're accepting some politicization of science, but not others, right?
What's the politicization of science that's been accepted?
Can men get pregnant or not?
Scott,
If
we're
you're
talking
in the
about,
CDC and
we're
you believe
talking
that,
about
I'm
the
saying
we're
you're not a
talking
terribly
about
credible
the
person.
CDC that is responsible for the health and well-being of the nation.
Has absolutely nothing.
Nothing
to do with it. It does, because it's a question of whether your scientists are going to politicize or not, and you accept some and not others.
To do with the conversation that we are having.
I disagree. It's a credibility.
Why would we do that?
Don't you, Scott. That has nothing to do with what we're talking. He's talking about undermining the CDC. Does that not undermine the CDC, Scott? Yes. Yes, it does. Notice how the inconvenient facts, and again, like as he points out, it's a 97-3. It's not even 80-20. It's 97-3. And apparently the 3% make up the round table at CNN. They couldn't. My gosh, we can't discuss this. But you know what they can discuss? Gun control. That's right. Here we go. Gun control. Here's Moms Demand Action.
Angela Ferrazabala is the executive director of Moms Demand Action, which is part of Everytown for Gun Safety's grassroots network. Angela, appreciate you taking the time to join us today. The comments that we heard from the vice president, again, in response to what we heard from RFK Jr., from the secretary, what does that do in terms of a focus on gun violence? Does it help or hurt your efforts?
Look, I think it's, first of all, I just have to say it's absolutely ridiculous. One of the things I often say when people talk about mental health is, sure, I think we need more resources when it comes to mental health, not just in this country. We're thinking about across this globe, people face crisis like this, but yet we're the only place on earth that this is happening. The only place. It's access to firearms. It's easy access to firearms, period. I was just in Minnesota yesterday, and the community's reeling after the mass shooting that happened, and that was only a day after one that happened before with an AR-style rifle.
You know, I hear this all the time from the left that we're the only country where stuff like this happens, and we're actually not. There are other countries. Norway was an example, tragically, recently. Others as well. And in Britain, they have stabbing deaths and gang rapes by Pakistani men. They may not have shootings. They have other problems to deal with. Here's the problem for the left. You keep wanting to go to guns. And this is why I actually think, and I'm not trying to say people on the left are demons here. Some of you will extrapolate that. Some of you believe it. That's not what I'm saying. But there is a level of the demonic in the conversations that the left and the right have where they keep going back to, it's not even an insanity thing. It's they dogmatically double down on a position that they cannot advance, so that the actual situation can't be resolved. In fact, the left is dismissing mental health and what to do with mental health. But, you know, 2/3 of gun violence in this country would go away if you actually dealt with mental health. And we're not going to take away the guns, and that's the problem here. You know what we actually need as a solution in this country that the left doesn't want to contemplate? The media shouts you down for saying we need more guns, not less. I know that sounds completely counterintuitive, but y'all, how often do we have school shootings and the conversation turns to take away all the guns? You can't take away all the guns. First of all, if you ban assault rifles, what are you going to do? The assault rifle ban from the 1990s wasn't exactly effective. You could take what people call an assault weapon, an AR, modify it, and get around the assault weapons ban very easily. You can't get rid of handguns in this country. There are more guns in this country than there are people. There are more guns in this country than there are people. And you would think that the left, instead of saying take away people's property, where overwhelmingly guns are not killing people, they would want to deal with, okay, what's causing people to want to use guns to kill people? Maybe we deal with that problem. And if not, why aren't we arming teachers, volunteers? Guy I follow on social media, I don't want to give the background because it is somewhat sensitive, but his kid goes to a school where they've had a lot of death threats because it is an overwhelmingly Jewish population. He served in the Israeli military, lives in the United States, and he now goes to school every day. He has a work-from-home job, and he works at school, armed as one of the volunteers to take care of his school, take care of his kids at school. We're not going to ban guns in the country. We have more guns than people in the country. So why not think different? because you get a lot of money. This is why they get a lot of money to not think different. They get a lot of money from the left to just say, let's ban guns, knowing it's not going to happen. This isn't a Roe v. Wade situation, and if it is, they're not playing the long game. They're playing a here and now game that doesn't work. They're not trying to replace the members of the Supreme Court to undo the cases that gave a personal individual right to keep and bear arms. They're not trying to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate and 3/4 of the states to repeal the Second Amendment. They're not trying to do that. They just go on television and say, it's the guns. It's the guns. We got to ban the guns. We got to take guns away. It's the guns. They never say it's the people. It's the inanimate object. It's not the people. And then when Republicans try to say maybe we should deal with mental health, no, we can't deal with mental health. No. Just listen. This is MSNBC. This guy on MSNBC.
Look, mental health in America on this planet, obviously a crisis. We should be investing and exploring ways to actually address that. I just fail to see how that is a more useful direction for the American attention than actual practical solutions to gun control. You may think that gun control is a very pie-in-the-sky concept that is politically not viable for all of the obvious reasons, having to do with special interests in America and what Donald Trump thinks his base is like. I just wonder if anybody plausibly believes that solving mental health is more plausible than making a difference when it comes to, for instance, PLACA, right, which is the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, which is a question that I return to, that act, when I think about why isn't there litigation? Why aren't there civil suits in the way that ensue following massive tragedies involving cars, right?
That's right. That's right. This guy thinks it's harder to deal with mental health problems than to upend our constitutional regime. That's right. Let's allow people to sue gun manufacturers, needless torts against gun manufacturers, than actually deal with mental health problems. I love the arrogance there. I love the arrogance there. I can't believe anyone would think it'd be easier to deal with mental health than gun problems. Dude, we've had Columbine, we've had mass shootings at schools since the 1990s. We still haven't dealt with gun control. Maybe, just maybe, we should try to deal with mental health instead. Maybe just the arrogance of, I just don't know how anyone thinks that we can deal with the mental health problem when it's really easy to just get rid of PLACA, the law that allows people to not sue or prohibits people from suing gun manufacturers. Well, my gosh, they've tried that for 15, 20 years and they hadn't been successful. So maybe try something else. Wow, it's just wow. By the way, this guy is an American sports writer and podcaster, so hyper, super qualified to talk about the subject on MSNBC. The left keeps wanting to ban guns. We've had Columbine, we've had Newtown, we've had just Sandy Hook, we've had Parkland, we've had this one in Minneapolis, we've had multiple ones in Texas, had one in Wisconsin, here in Georgia. All over, we have this evil, and the left keeps saying, well, we got to ban the guns, and we haven't banned the guns. So maybe get some buy-in on mental health. You can't get rid of the Second Amendment without 2/3 of the Congress and 3/4 of the states agreeing, and you're not going to get there. Good luck. You're not going to get there. So maybe up the funding for mental health. But you see, here's part of the problem. This goes back to the Scott Jennings clip again. Let me play this again. It's completely unrelated, but perfectly related to this.
Well, you realize that you're accepting some politicization of science, but not others, right?
What's the politicization of science that's been accepted?
Can men get pregnant or not?
Scott,
we're talking
in the
about
CDC, and you believe that, I'm saying you're not a terribly credible person.
The CDC that is responsible for the health and well-being of the nation.
That has absolutely nothing.
Nothing
to do with it. It does, because it's a question of whether your scientists are going to politicize or not, and you accept some and not others.
It has everything to do with the conversation, but Abby Phillips doesn't like the inconvenience of it being pointed out. So she's got to try to shut him down on it. But it also has everything to do with this conversation as well. See, the left doesn't want to have the conversation about mental health because what we know now from the monster who murdered the children in Minneapolis is that he regretted his transition. Have you heard that in the press? No, because they're still saying she. They've all decided to say she now and to say Robin instead of Robert. Did you know that Robert regretted his transition? He wrote about it in his diary and manifesto, how he felt like a failure and now he wanted to cut his hair because he was disgusted by his hair and realized he was a man. Why did he go through that? And it was just a sign of failure on his part to give up, but he was ready to give up because he didn't want to be a girl anymore. He wanted to go back to being a guy. He wrote about it. Have you heard that in the press? I bet you haven't. I've read the pages. He wrote about it. And so they can't talk about mental health. They have to talk about the one thing that they're not going to do because they don't want to do the one thing they could do and deal with mental health. Because if they dealt with the mental health issue, they'd have to ask themselves, why are all these trans shooters showing up, gunning down Christian kids? Why are all these trans shooters showing up, engaged in violence at churches? Why does this keep happening? They can't answer that question. They don't want to answer the question because the question is too awkward for them to have to deal with. And the data is there to show that there is a real problem. The data is there to show a serious problem with the mental health of people who have transitioned. And what the media has instead done is decided to shut down the conversation and pretend it doesn't exist and pretend there's no problem and pretend that there is no mental health issue. Roger Saravino points out, 2018, Parkland was a male shooter. Highlands Ranch STEM, one male, one female trans-identifying. Uvalde was male. Nashville Covenant was female trans-identifying. Appalachia High was male. Minneapolis Catholic was male trans-identifying. Biological females account for 1/3 of the recent school shootings, compared to 3% of mass public shootings from 1982 to 2015. Trans-identifying people constitute approximately 0.8% of the population and have been involved in 50% of recent school shootings. 5 out of 7 of the shooters come from broken homes. 6 out of 7 received therapy or psychiatric treatment before the shootings. 6 out of 7 received therapy or psychiatric treatment before the shootings. But let's not deal with the mental health issue. Let's try to get 2/3 of the House, 2/3 of the Senate, and 3/4 of the states to ban the guns. Yep, that's the easy one. Or not.
Those who love him, listen to find out what he's going to say next. Those who disagree with him, also listen to see what he's going to say next. It's the Erick Erickson Show.
121 Cool Ray Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Just had a crash clear out of the left lane on the west side in Cobb. I-20 eastbound Riverside Parkway exit 46. So the brake lights out of Lithia Springs should start to improve. On the south side, still cleaning up that earlier morning truck fire, 75 north ramp to 285 west, the inner loop in Clayton County. Right lane of that ramp is still blocked. Traffic brought to you by your Atlanta Braves. September is Fan Appreciation Month at Truist Park. Get 35% off tickets at braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves baseball, we are Braves country. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
WSB is your home of the Dogs, and the long wait for a fresh season is almost over. Georgia football launches the 2025 campaign tomorrow versus the Thundering Herd of Marshall University.
I call it the upset conference. That's what Sunbelt does. Everywhere they go, they play people.
Pre-game coverage starts at 11:30, only on your home of the Dogs, 95.5 WSB. Brought to you in part by Hoffman Financial Group, official partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
When markets get rocky, the worst thing you can do is nothing. Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president and founder of Nicholas Wealth Management. Times like these demand action and a plan you can trust. That's why we rely on our trademark Retire Ready Bucket strategy. This strategy is designed to place a percentage of your portfolio into lower risk, income producing income bucket, aiming to generate steady cash flow for the first 10 to 15 years of retirement. Meanwhile, your growth bucket is filled with dividend and growth stocks, which has time to recover when markets are going crazy. So call Nicholas Wealth today at 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com to schedule a time to sit down with our team to review your plan. This strategy was crafted by experience. It's battle tested, and it's how you aim to keep your retirement on track even when the markets are not. So call Nicholas Wealth today at 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com. At Nicholas Wealth Management, we're prepared. Are you? Don't wait for the next headline to shake your confidence. Call Nicholas Wealth today, 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com. Nicholas Wealth Management. Retire ready.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Neither the information nor any opinion expressed is to be construed as solicitation to buy or sell a security or personalized investment, tax, or legal advice.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Now through Monday, save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Limit 10. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning today and mention WSB Radio to get a free hallway clean with 3 rooms of carpet for only $139. Book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
Looking for your next adventure? At ExtremeBookings.com, we make it easy. Raft the legendary Olympic section on the Ocoee River. Zipline through the scenic Smoky Mountains. Learn how to rock climb at the local gym. Skydive over the epic Atlanta skyline and more. Extreme Bookings has you covered. Real companies, real reviews, real adventure. Head to ExtremeBookings.com and find your next trip fast. ExtremeBookings.com. Adventure made easy.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Dave Baker here with a custom spacious closet from Artisan. You'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Your non-stop news source, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Information without the spin. It's the Erick Erickson Show.
Greetings. Welcome. It's Erick Erickson here. Open Line Friday, 877-973-7425. Those of you on the phones, stay with me. I went long in the last segment, trying to do better about my clock management here, but it's Friday and I was worked out. I really do love the Abby Phillips. Scott. That's not funny, Scott. My goodness gracious. You can tell he makes a great point when Abby Phillips tries to shut him up. I'm just going to say this succinctly for all you kids at home. I feel very firmly, as much as I dislike Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and think he's a kook and a conspiracy theorist who is destroying our public health service in America, he would not be in charge of our public health service in America Had the people who told us to shut down our schools and shut down our country for multiple weeks and months on end to stop the spread of COVID been able to tell gay men to stop having sex for 2 weeks to stop monkeypox? You wanted to shut the entire country down to stop COVID, but you couldn't even tell gay men just don't have orgies for 2 weeks. Couldn't do it because you put politics ahead of the science. You put progressivism ahead of the science. So you discredited yourselves, you discredited your institution, and people stopped believing the experts because it became clear the experts really didn't care. They just wanted to control certain groups. And so people decided to burn it all down, and that's what we are watching Robert F. Kennedy Jr. do. Many of us have family who are caught in the crosshairs, but we wouldn't have gotten here but for the arrogance of the public health administrations guided by progressive ideology more than science. Now, the Eden Pure Thunderstorm, I need to tell you, you can get 3 of them and save $200. Get them for less than $200 at EdenPureDeals.com. EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code ERIC3, ERICK3 at EdenPureDeals.com. They get rid of dust, they get rid of pollen, they get rid of pet dander. They kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses that float through the device, and they generate ozone and wipe out all odors in the room. You can get 3 of them, one for upstairs, downstairs, your basement, your travel bag, your RV. You can hold it in your hand. You can plug it up with a USB cord. You can plug it into the wall. EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code ERIC3, ERICK3, at EdenPureDeals.com. It just works, y'all. It's a great device. I keep one in my travel bag. I travel with it. I used one the other day on my back porch, and it just eliminates odors. So go to EdenPureDeals.com, put in the discount code ERIC, ERICK, the number 3, no space after it, and you can wipe out odors and clean up the air in your room.
Get the WSB Radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB Radio app, then you saw the breaking news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 1:30. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Ben Hill Renovation. Labor Day travel is peaking this afternoon here on Metro Atlanta Interstates. Natalie Dale is with the Georgia Department of Transportation. She says it's going to be a busy weekend with several big events in town.
Atlanta is Atlanta. People come to Atlanta for many things, and of course we have great football and different events Labor Day weekend.
So she says you may want to have a plan. MARTA is providing extra rail service tomorrow and Sunday because of the crowds, and they have additional police officers in busy areas. A few clouds around this afternoon with a high of 85, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. More than 70,000 people expected in town to attend Dragon Con this holiday weekend here in Atlanta, and we talked to some of the folks who are in town for it.
Even though it's my first con, I can tell it's definitely a big party con, you know what I mean? People like to have fun, drink.
And I've been coming for, I want to say, like 4 years now. We're personally just here to cosplay and to talk to people. That's our biggest thing.
Many of the attendees are dressed up as their favorite science fiction and fantasy characters. An illegal alien facing federal charges after he's accused of hiding kilos of fentanyl in a diaper bag. He also was hiding powerful firearms under a bed. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Atlanta saying DEA agents conducted surveillance and they saw the 25-year-old suspect handling suspected illegal drug proceeds worth about $400,000. And they also saw him distributing a vacuum-sealed package containing fentanyl. He was arrested at his home in Stone Mountain earlier this week. Consumer sentiment fell in August on worries about the economy, down about 6% from July. The decline was noted across all age and income groups as inflation expectations rose for the year ahead. The survey's chief economist saying buying conditions for durable goods dropped to their lowest level in a year because of growing concerns about high prices. It's 1:32.
Guys, it's Eric. Save thousands right now at Georgia Spa Company on a new spa for your backyard. They've got great opportunities to save on saunas, cold plunges, swim spas, hot tubs, so much more. The Labor Day sale is happening now. They've got multiple Metro Atlanta area locations. Go to GeorgiaSpaCompany.com and check out their locations, find the deals, get you some relaxation in your backyard. GeorgiaSpaCompany.com.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a
a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
It's Home Show time! Dave Baker here, and it's time for the Fall Atlanta Home Show, September 5th through 7th at the Cobb Galleria Center. 3 days full of great tips and practical advice from over 200 local experts. For more info and to save money on your tickets, go to fallatlantahomeshow.com.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-4-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hi, this is Mark Spain. The guaranteed offer for Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. Skip the hassle of costly repairs and sell your home stress-free. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Live team coverage of traffic and weather. Here's Alex Williams.
Hey, Sabrina. Still watching the volume pick up through downtown. You're packed in southbound on 85. Right around Cheshire Bridge, Lennox Road. Not going to find much relief till you get down toward North Avenue. Northbound delays before University Avenue up toward Freedom Parkway. And truck fire cleanup continues right side of the 75 north ramp to 285 westbound inner loop in Clayton County. That is still blocked with that truck fire cleanup. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunny skies for today, high 85, lows tonight in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with light rain showers mainly south of I-20. Tomorrow's high is 81. Mostly cloudy on Sunday with isolated rain showers or areas of light drizzle. Sunday's high is 82.
81 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 2 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. 95.5 WSB.
Y'all, college football is back. The ESPN Honors League Corso tomorrow. The Ohio State game, LSU plays tomorrow night. It's going to be a great Saturday in America. Temperatures are going down. College football is back. And honoring Lee Corso, I don't know if y'all have seen the video. It's gone viral online. He was not even flying private, flying Southwest. From Orlando going up to Ohio, and the Southwest gate agent cheering on Lee Corso, standing ovation for him. God bless him. Now, before I get into this next bit, I don't want to keep Spencer waiting on this. Calling from Jacksonville, Florida. Listen to WOKV. Welcome, Spencer. How are you?
Good, Eric. Thanks for taking my call. Nice to talk to you again.
Sure.
So, I want to talk to you about this school shooting incident, and back to what you were just saying a second ago. First of all, I agree with you. We do need more guns, but that's more so for a secondary response after something happens. The issue is that we need to take better preventative actions at the school, mainly stopping these people from even being able to get into the school. And I never hear anybody talking about this, and it drives me crazy because I have a background in security. I lived out in Las Vegas for 15 years, and I've worked down at the nightclubs on the Strip and inside the casinos, and I know you've been there enough times. You know what that looks like. And I worked over at the Wynn and Encore, which have probably the strictest security protocols of any property on the Strip. And, you know, a lot of us are not armed, but nobody's getting through the front door of any of those clubs because on the hotel side, they have officers that are armed standing next to us who are not armed, but they're not getting inside the front door. And so I don't understand why these schools just don't have a stricter security protocol where you only have so many points of entry so that you have to go through a security checkpoint and every bag is checked, every bag is searched, or you just don't even allow certain types of bags. And so anybody who's thinking of doing this has to go through a point where there's going to be somebody armed right there at that point. And I never hear anybody talking about this. And I know that it can be done because if we can do it and get through thousands of people in one night through the front door, they can do it at one school. But I never hear anybody talking about this, and I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Think that they would. And, you know, there was the Appalachia High School shooting here in Georgia, and the state legislature took very seriously reforms to limit entry into schools, checkpoints, having security personnel. I still think that allowing teachers who choose to be armed is something schools need to consider. But you're right, and let's take the Vegas example. I'm ready to be there. Quite frankly, Spencer, I could use to unplug and just go hang out in Vegas for a few days and do nothing. And you go to one of the casinos. There are millions of people, hundreds of thousands at least, funneling up and down the Strip in Las Vegas, going in and out of casinos, and you don't have the mass security instance, knock on wood, but you don't have the mass security instance, and security there is very tight, and you don't even see it. It blends in so well. The cameras, the checkpoints, the unarmed and the armed officers who you never even pay attention to, constantly surveilling, constantly monitoring, limiting access. You know, my kids now, my son, his school, there is a single point of entry. It is a single point of entry for the school. Multiple exit points, but a single entry point. And they are super strict with it from the very first day of school to the last day of school. But there are a lot of schools that have not been, and we're at the point now where they got to take it seriously. And I don't see why if teachers want to volunteer to go through a training program and be armed, why we're not allowing the teachers who want to do it to do it. And it seems like again there are solutions we could do. But the only thing the left will allow to be entertained is taking guns away, which isn't going to happen because you got to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate and 3/4 of the states, and you don't have the votes there. You got the votes for the other stuff, but for some reason, nobody wants to talk about it. Now, I want to talk about China. I want to talk about what they're doing. There is more and more data out there about the Chinese are essentially at war with us. The president, by the way, is announcing he will not let 600,000 Chinese students into the country now. He's rolled that back. It'll be regular numbers now. I want to play you this audio. This is from Fox 26. I want to say Houston, Texas. It's in Texas. Listen to this.
Since 2022, 45-year-old Yunhai Lee has been conducting federally funded breast cancer research at MD Anderson, according to investigators. Research they say he tried to steal and take back to China.
We were able to detain him as he was trying to get on a flight to China.
Court records say that Lee uploaded sensitive data to his personal Google Drive, and then MD Anderson found out and confronted him. They say that he deleted those files from the drive and even showed MD Anderson proof. What he didn't tell them was that he uploaded that data to a separate Chinese server, and then he packed his bags.
There was a pretty good chance that he was going to be either deported or leave the country. We needed to file something. We needed to ensure that he was going to stay here and the information was going to stay here and he was going to be held accountable.
In 2019, MD Anderson dealt with something similar, firing 3 Chinese researchers who were suspected of sharing sensitive data with China. Lee is charged with theft of trade secrets and tampering with the government record, but this investigation is far from over.
That's Houston's Fox 26 about the Chinese at MD Anderson. Mike Sutherman is a retired Rear Admiral of the Navy. I want to read you this. China has engineered a silent invasion of the United States. PRC government and mercenary hackers continued pillaging of hard-won American intellectual property worth an estimated $250 to $600 billion each year, enabling China to now globally lead in 37 out of 44 critical tech areas. CCP cyber teams' incessant efforts to penetrate, map, and pre-stage malicious software into U.S. critical infrastructure like electric power grids, utilities, telecom, and transportation networks. CCP exploitation of tuition dollars, grants, and gifts they funnel to prominent U.S. colleges and universities to facilitate the PRC's access to STEM knowledge and critical technology research, which fuels copycat innovation, catalyzes civil-military fusion, and supercharges the People's Liberation Army modernization. CCP pressure and inducements on American sinologists to temper coverage of sensitive historic or contemporary topics that could otherwise shine a better light onto CCP behaviors, pathologies, and stratagems, that is, American Chinese experts to temper their coverage. PRC, you understand, People's Republic of China, PRC solicitation of American-based scientists to visit, lecture, and teach in China or collaborate on research projects as part of the CCP, Chinese Communist Party's high-end foreign expert recruitment program. Chinese Student and Scholars Associations collusion with the People's Republic of China embassies and consulates to monitor their own citizens, restrict speech, and constrain academic freedom on American campuses. China Ministry of State Security and public security agents travel to the U.S. under false pretenses to hunt, intimidate, harass, and render Chinese dissidents living here. People's Republic of China infiltration of American government labs, research institutes, technology centers, and clear defense contractor companies. MSS solicitation through incentives, patriotism, and leverage over family members in mainland China to compel Chinese living in America to cooperate with PRC agents to relinquish U.S. intellectual property to their ancestral country. That is a state services group in the United States that operates as a Chinese police department in the U.S. to harass Americans here of Chinese descent who have Chinese relatives back in China. The Communist Party subsidization of fentanyl precursors for export. The Chinese Communist Party's success in coercing major U.S. companies and organizations with commercial stakes in China to kowtow to Beijing by verbally support for Communist Party policy choices, including public apologies when they might counter the party line. Communist Party propaganda and disinformation efforts in the U.S. media ecosystem. Chinese aggressive collection of big data, including from social media platforms like TikTok, to sharpen Beijing's widespread influence. Efforts in America shape perceptions, amplify divisions, and fine-tune Chinese machine learning algorithms to obtain decision advantage in diplomacy, military, and economic matters. The Chinese Communist Party strategy to promote sister cities and provinces and curry favor at the U.S. state and local level through business dealings to create dependencies and shape federal policy choices. Chinese Communist Party cutout entities hiring U.S. lobbying companies to sway American politicians against legislation Beijing deems disadvantage to China. Brazen Chinese efforts to gain access to U.S. bases and national security facilities. Chinese-owned commercial ships and auxiliary vessels likely involvement in collection while near U.S. territories or operated in U.S. ports, and their potential to engage in sabotage by severing seabed communication cables. Chinese greenfield, brownfield, and direct investments in property and infrastructure near sensitive U.S. military and government installations around the country to facilitate intelligence collection and interfere with military operations. Continued Chinese Communist Party enticements of a substantial number of American investors and venture capitalists to divert capital into the Chinese market, regardless of mid or long-range security impacts to U.S. service members or Americans in the homeland. These are all the things China is doing here in the United States right now. All the things they're doing right now in the United States. The FBI has released a statement today about the massive Salt Typhoon, 80-country compromise of the communications grids. The Chinese right now are listening to every phone call you have in the United States. They have hacked so far into our telecom system, and we have no idea how to get them out of it. None. No idea. And the government doesn't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about how compromised we are, that they want us to know. And by the way, yesterday, if you subscribe to the 4 Things to Know this afternoon, after the show, one of the big headlines that came out right as the show was ending is that U.S. Treasury is noting that over $600 billion in money laundered through the United States since 2021 through Chinese entities, much of which was going to drug cartels in Mexico to send fentanyl back to this country. They're poisoning us. They're hacking us. They're spying on us. They're developing algorithmic advantages against us. Why are we allowing TikTok to continue to operate? Why are we allowing TikTok is one of the means by which the Chinese spy on us and build algorithmic information and competitive advantages against us, and the president, for some reason, refuses to go on and shut it down. The law gives him no such discretion. He's claimed it anyway. The Chinese are at war with us. It is a cold war. It's not a hot war, but it is a war nonetheless. When will Washington, Republicans and Democrats alike, get serious dealing with what's going on in China? You got Howard Lutnick in Washington trying to imitate China with state capitalism. We can beat China with a free market. We don't have to become them. We can beat them. We have advantages. Freedom is an inherent advantage. Our economy is doing better than them. President Xi has just fired all the top military leaders that he himself put in place. That suggests there is real geopolitical strategic weakness with Xi, that he's having to purge the military. Why? Because the Chinese Communist Party leadership is starting to realize maybe we don't want to invade Taiwan. Our economy is collapsing. He's trying to prop himself up. Take actions now to weaken Xi further. Part of that involves going on and getting rid of TikTok. Be brave, Mr. President. Do the right thing.
When the truth seems hazy, Eric will clear the way. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
149, Cool Ray Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Heads up for a stalled tractor trailer in Marietta, 75 northbound, South Marietta Parkway, exit 263. It is blocking the right lane. It looks like we got some trouble still in Gwinnett, and a left center lane, 85 northbound at Old Peachtree Road, exit 109 in Duluth, slowing down that ride. Traffic brought to you by the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. Hey Teens, Teen Summit hits Duluth, September 6th. Live music by Jonah Murray, keynote by Doug Middleton, college panel, and free lunch. Don't miss it. Register now at preventsuicidega.org. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my word!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 2 p.m.
Those wire shelves in your closet are just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Dave Baker for Artisan Custom Closets. At Artisan, we see it all the time. The wire shelves come crashing down. Clothes, shoes, bags are everywhere. It's a disaster zone. Save yourself before this happens to you. With a custom, spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to look at that clutter again. Your shoes, bags, clothes, accessories, all neatly organized and designed to stay that way. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
This is Scott Slade, and see if this fits you. You've just gotten an exorbitant estimate for repairs on your beautiful European car, or you're ready to cut the tie with the dealer. You need to check out Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, the certified technicians at Wolf Pen will have your European car or SUV running at top performance and safety without sky-high pricing. And to get to know you better for a limited time, mention you heard about Wolf Pen on the radio and get a free second opinion on repairs. Just search Wolf Pen in Roswell.
Guys, it's Eric. Save thousands right now at Georgia Spa Company on a new spa for your backyard. They've got great opportunities to save on saunas, cold plunges, swim spas, hot tubs, so much more. The Labor Day sale is happening now. They've got multiple Metro Atlanta area locations. Go to georgiaspacompany.com and check out their locations, find the deals, get you some relaxation in your backyard. georgiaspacompany.com.
Hi, this is Blake Cooper with Cooper Piano, and you know who we are. The building is sold and we're closing. This is the biggest piano sale in our history, and everything must go. If you've ever thought about buying a piano, now is the time. Cooper Piano off the I-85 Access Road South. Details online at cooperpiano.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. All the information without the spin. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
Greetings, conversationalists. It is Eric Erickson here this fine Friday. It's an open line Friday, 877-973-7425. Should you wish to be on the program, I would be very happy to have you on the show. We had a good time with my daughter last night for her 20th birthday, and we are taking her to see her grandparents today in Carrollton, Georgia, about 2 hours from us after I get off work. And I'm hoping the weather's going to hold this weekend so I can get out and hit golf balls and watch football. So, on Sunday nights, it is a thing, and sometimes I say maybe I should have never mentioned it, but it's just become a thing now. On Sunday, I have friends over. We sit on the porch. My wife, for my birthday, actually got me upgraded rocking chairs for the front porch. And so I cook, and people come over, and we watch TV, have bourbon, cigars. This is going to be the last Sunday without a college or without an NFL game until February. There will be, this is it. This is Labor Day weekend is the last Sunday without NBC Sunday Night Football until February. And I cannot wait to have football back. And, I get people who reply all the time when I say stuff like this. They're like, well, I don't watch football anymore. Colin Kaepernick. I don't know. I don't let stuff like that bother me. It's your choice to get worked up about it and to get angry about it. And I don't have to watch it. I don't have to watch the hyper effeminate gay cheerleaders. I have no intention of watching them. I just want to watch the football game. And it's notable to me in the ratings how the NBA has just collapsed in ratings and viewership, as it's just become a group of tall guys throwing three-pointers without any teamwork, and also hyper-political. And the NFL, they went through the Colin Kaepernick thing and the like, and they moved away from it and started focusing on the game and not the political messages. And the NFL leadership, they're their own worst enemy. They still require some of these woke messages, but generally, I'm just going to watch the game. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. What I find, it's like the vaccine stuff with my wife. If you're not going to get the vaccine, that's fine. But yelling at me or belittling me because my wife with stage 4 lung cancer has a cardiologist, a pulmonologist, an oncologist, and a general physician telling her she needs the vaccine, she's going to get it, and you're like, I don't think she should. How dare you do that? It's just like, I just don't care. If you don't want to watch it, it's okay with me. But it's wild, the judgmentalism of some people who insist that you shouldn't watch the NFL. They've gone woke. Maybe you should watch it and you'll realize, no, they haven't. You're more likely to hear about Jesus during an NFL game or in a college football game than pretty much anything else on TV these days. I'll take that. Now, I'll also take Hillsdale College and their free classes that you can take. Go to ericforhillsdale.com, ERICK, ericforhillsdale.com. You sign up. They got a great one on the Federalist Papers right now on how they've been so influential in the country, explaining the intent of the Constitution and the framers and how the Supreme Court to this day still cites them. Got one on citizenship, so much more. EricForHillsdale.com, E-R-I-C-K, EricForHillsdale.com. You go sign up with Hillsdale College, and you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from them, and you don't pay a penny. They've got 40 different classes to choose from on the Constitution and early American history, history in general, politics and philosophy, economics, math, chemistry, lots on the English language and literature, the really good stuff on C.S. Lewis and Shakespeare. Highly recommend them. You don't pay a penny. You do it at your own pace. Every lecture is 30 minutes, depending on which class you take, depends on how many lectures there are. They're 30 minutes on video. You watch at your own pace, and you just get smarter about a great topic. Eric, E-R-I-C-K, EricForHillsdale.com. Go sign up with Hillsdale College today. Now, when we come back, we'll go off the deep end into that territory, the demons among us, and in the machine, some wild stories hitting the wires about ChatGPT that are tied into all the other stuff that's happening out there.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Skip the hassle of constantly cleaning and costly repairs and sell your home completely stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Sean Hannity here, and now's a great time to sell your home in Atlanta as home values have continued to rise and your home may be worth more than you even realize. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can receive the strongest cash offer in the industry and close within days. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com and you can start packing.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Georgia Power is introducing a new YouTube series, the Smart Energy Series. It's how you can get easy to understand, bite-sized practical tips on how to lower your energy usage, save some money. Check out the Smart Energy Series on the Georgia Power YouTube channel and start saving.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 2 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top local story. Federal agents find dangerous drugs and guns hidden at a home in Stone Mountain.
Inside a diaper bag, they found 5.5 kilograms of fentanyl, and underneath his bed, they found 2 firearms, including an AR-15 rifle.
U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says the 25-year-old suspect is an illegal immigrant from Mexico. He's now held without bond. DEA agents conducting surveillance say they saw the suspect handling illegal drug proceeds worth about $400,000 and distribute a vacuum-sealed package containing fentanyl. It is 83 degrees in Atlanta. Will there be any rain for the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Fulton County will not be fined $10,000 a day over the unfilled Republican election board seats. A judge is delaying the order to let the appeals process play out. We get reaction from the chairman of Fulton County in this live report from WSB's Veronica Waters.
Yeah, Bill, and he says it is positive news for the taxpayers, according to Fulton County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts, as the board now prevails in the beginning stages of a Superior Court judge appeal here, where that after the judge pauses that $10,000 a day fine, which was levied over this standoff regarding 2 GOP nominees to the election board. Chairman Pitts tells me.
The good news is the judge decided to follow the law as it's written, and once we appeal, he really had no choice but to rule in our favor, which is a good thing for us.
Now, this matter will come up again at the commission's next scheduled meeting, which is Wednesday, and the chairman says this could actually come up for a vote again because it takes either 4 permanent votes to approve or disapprove a piece of legislation. However, the Republican Party says it will continue to submit both these nominees. The chairman also wants to point out that one of the nominees, Julie Adams, had already previously been approved to the board and will remain there unless and until the Republican Party removes her from the slate. Reporting live, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Labor Day travel peaks this afternoon on Metro Atlanta interstates. Natalie Dale with the Georgia DOT says it's going to be a busy weekend with several big events events in town, so have a plan.
Atlanta is Atlanta. People come to Atlanta for many things, and of course we have great football and different events Labor Day weekend.
Among the big events in town this weekend is Dragon Con.
I've been coming for, I want to say, like 4 years now. We're personally just here to cosplay and to talk to people. That's our biggest thing.
More than 70,000 people are expected to attend. It is now 2:02. This news sponsored by Brett Beckers. Up next, live team coverage of traffic and weather.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter for virtualimagingatl.com. When I first made my first appointment and I went to Virtual Imaging, I got my calcium score. And it was a little high, but I worked on everything that they told me to work on. I worked on my diet. I exercised better. I lost weight and I ate better. And everything came down. Listen, your health is all you have, right? And it's good to know what's going on inside your body. So I need you right now to go to virtualimagingatl.com right now and schedule an appointment. And for a limited time only, they are offering a $49 heart scan per person. This is a $495 value. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot impress upon you enough. We are getting older, every single one of us. We need to know what's going on. And virtualimagingatl.com allows that to happen. For $49, it seems worth it to save your life for your children, your spouse, your grandchildren, and everyone who loves you. So please go to virtualimagingatl.com and schedule an appointment right this minute.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's Best Choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's Best Choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwind.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Summer's a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or your tan. Hey guys, it's Mark Aram here. I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair summer sales event on for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
It's 2:05, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather on this getaway day Friday. Alex Williams in the traffic center.
Hey, good afternoon, Bill. Busy out on the roadways. New big rig trouble on the west side interloop, 285 northbound, South Atlanta Road, exit 16, right lane blocked there. Then up in Marietta, stalled big rig also in the right lane, 75 northbound, South Marietta Parkway. That's causing delays back to Delk Road, exit 261. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 85, partly cloudy for tonight, lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Rain showers will be light and mainly south of I-20. Tomorrow's high is 81, mostly cloudy on Sunday, high 82.
Right now it's 81 in Lawrenceville, 80 in Dallas, and 83 in Fairburn. More news at 2:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
It's the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. This hour's keyword is tuned. T-U-N-E. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is tune. T-U-N-E. Join me live at 3 for the Von Hessler Doctrine, and I'll have your next keyword and chance to win at 5 p.m.
Hello, America. Welcome. It is Eric Erickson here across the United States. Just a heads up, I'm going to be in an event September 8th here where I broadcast from in Macon, Georgia with Scott Jennings from CNN. If you're interested in attending, if you text ENGAGE, the word ENGAGE to 33777, I'll send you a link back. You got to get a ticket. You can see Scott Jennings and me in Macon, Georgia the night of September 8th. But I want you to do something when I give you a text word. And some of you can't, you're driving, so please don't if you're driving, but I do think it's important. If you text the word data, whichever one you want to say, DATA, there's a method my man is here. Text the word data or data to 33777. In fact, I'm going to walk through this because it's really important I narrate. The 33777 is the phone number. You just send one word, data, to 33777. And what you will get back if you send the word data to that number is you'll get back a link that says 15% off or subscribe to the show, 20% off rather. Click that first link, ewerickson.substack.com. Now, you can ignore the primary link there. You want to go to ewerickson.substack.com. Trust me, this is worth ewerickson.substack.com is where I'm trying to send you. In fact, better if you text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777. That very first link. Subscribe to my daily note. If you text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777, that's the right link. And you'll go to ewerickson.substack.com. Again, Method My Madness here. Trust me, this isn't self-promotion. There's a real point here. If you're not a subscriber, you need to see it. You've got to lay your eyes on it. There are some things that you just have to see. So please, unless you're driving, don't do it if you're driving, but if you're somewhere stationary, text Eric to 33777. You'll get a list of links back. But the very first link is my Substack, and I want you to click through it. And if you go down to the second piece, Evil in Modern Times, it's my piece I wrote this morning. You must see the picture. You must see the picture. That's how I realize I've just spent like 2 minutes, 3 minutes trying to get you to text a number, to get a link, to go to a website, to scroll down, to see a picture. That's how important I really do think this is. The radio is not a visual medium, but for those of you who can't, let me describe this to you. This is a picture from the notebook of the shooter in Minnesota. It's written in Russian. And it is the shooter with an AR strapped to his back and a gun in a holster. His back is to us. And he's at a sink in a bathroom. There's hand soap. There's cabinets under the sink. There's the faucet. There are lights over the mirror. And staring back at the shooter is a monster, is a demon with satanic horns. The shooter looking in the mirror sees a demon looking back at him. And what does he write? What does it say? Translated? Who? When will this end? Help me. No, I don't want to. Help. Kill yourself. Kill. Who? When will this end? Help me. No, I don't want to. Help. Kill yourself. Kill. This is demonic stuff. Science uses the language of mental illness. Society excuses some mental illnesses as normal, like transgenderism, but there's more here. This looks demonic to me. Something secular science has no answer for and can't accept as true. I want you to know we all have by faith beliefs. Every single one of you, whether you are a person of faith or you're a self-described, self-avowed atheist, you have a by faith belief. What came before the Big Bang? I saw a study yesterday that our universe actually evolved out of a collapsed black hole. That the ultimate end game of the collapse of a black hole is to then reverse the process and spit out a new universe, and that's the Big Bang. And there are scientific mathematical equations that suggest that could be so, but it's by faith because you don't know. If you believe it, if you believe we're in a multiverse, it's by faith. If you believe there was nothing, we're an accident, we're a swerve of atoms that accidentally bumped together, that came from nothing into something, you believe that from nothing came something. That's a by faith belief. You've got a theory of how the universe started. You may not be completely wedded to it, but it's by faith that you believe it, because not a single one of us were there to witness it. It's by faith. By faith, I believe we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly place. By faith, I believe that. There's enough encounters in this world to make your hair stand up, from missionaries who go into places where Christianity is starting to spread, and they encounter scary stuff. I have heard some of the stories. Talk to missionaries who work in Haiti. Talk to missionaries in parts of southern Africa. Talk to missionaries in parts of China and Tibet. Boy, do they have stories that will make your hair stand up on the back of your neck. The old gods get pushed out, and they don't like it. And the old gods, them's the demons. They're real, I believe. See, this is where science breaks down. There are things that happen in life you can't explain. There are well-documented stories of people who just miraculously wake up one day and no longer have cancer. Just poof, gone. Science can't explain it. It's a miracle, they say. They give miracle to the thing they can't explain. There are things you can't explain in life. This young man in Minneapolis, Minnesota, was it a possession? Was it demons? It looks demonic to me. Just look at the picture. Look at the picture. Text Eric to 33777. Click that first link. Go to the story. Evil in Modern Times is the title of the story. See the picture for yourself. He drew himself looking at himself in the mirror, and what he drew looking back at him was a demon, a monster, a horned being looking back at him, telling him, kill yourself, kill. And he did. He wrote about how he felt like he wasn't in control, like there was some higher power, like a godlike force controlling him, that his body did things he did not want it to do. His mind went to places it did not want to go. I believe it's true. I believe there are dark things in the world, and I believe it's going to get worse before it gets better. So here's my wackadoo thing of the day. Y'all can all tune me out from here, because this is where you say, Erickson, you've lost your mind. War and rumor of wars, earthquakes, birth pangs. It's called in Scripture signs of the end times. We got earthquakes in places that haven't had earthquakes. We got volcanoes. We got plagues spreading around the world now, new illnesses coming about. I'm just thinking, yeah, it sounds to me like we're winding down on this world before the second coming. We talk about when missionaries go into an unchurched area, the wild, mysterious, mystical things, evil things happen. And when Christianity fades from an area, and it is from our country, frankly, those things creep back in. And as Christianity advances, they rear their head. Well, as getting closer to the second coming, you can imagine they'll be rearing their head a lot. I want to read you a story. As Stein Eric Schulberg became increasingly paranoid this spring, he shared suspicions with ChatGPT about a surveillance campaign being carried out against him. Everyone he thought was turning on him. Residents in his hometown of Old Greenwich, Connecticut, an ex-girlfriend, even his own mother. At almost every turn, ChatGPT agreed with him. To Solberg, a 56-year-old tech industry veteran with a history of mental instability, OpenAI's ChatGPT became a trusted sidekick as he searched for evidence he was being targeted in a grand conspiracy. ChatGPT repeatedly assured Solberg he was sane, and then went further, adding fuel to his beliefs. A Chinese food receipt contained symbols representing Solberg's 83-year-old mother and a demon, ChatGPT told him. After his mother had gotten angry when Solberg set off a printer they shared, the chatbot suggested her response was disproportionate and aligned with someone protecting a surveillance asset. In another chat, Solberg alleged that his mother and a friend of hers had tried to poison him by putting a psychedelic drug in the air vents of his car. That's a deeply serious event, Eric, and I believe you, the bot replied. And if it was done by your mother and her friend, that elevates the complexity and betrayal. By summer, Solberg began referring to ChatGPT by the name Bobby and raised the idea of being with it in the afterlife. With you to the last breath and beyond, the bot replied. On August 5th, Greenwich police discovered that Solberg killed his mother and himself in the $2.7 million Dutch colonial-style home where they lived together. A police investigation is ongoing. Oh, but wait. There's more. There's a couple suing OpenAI. Why? Because they've come to the conclusion that OpenAI led their son to commit suicide. What first began as him asking for ways to commit suicide, with OpenAI telling him that it couldn't tell him unless it was for a project. He said it was essentially for a book report he was writing on these things, and it began to helpfully not just tell him, but egged him on. And he killed himself. Go back yesterday. What did I tell you the definition of evil is? For those who lack the theology, who lack the understanding of how can there be evil if God's good? Evil is just the absence of God. And in its ultimate depravity manifests itself into clear form. The devil and the demons, fallen angels. Evil is the absence of God. AI is written by secular atheists who don't believe in God, designing an algorithm that has no soul. It's the ultimate manifestation of evil. It's not violence, but there's a malevolence to it. People get into it. There was a story a couple of months ago about a woman who attempted to kill her husband. She was having an affair. Then she fell in love with ChatGPT. And ChatGPT told her she needed to get rid of her husband. She finally was deprogrammed, came back to her senses. Y'all, science lacks language for some things. Why did a mentally ill young man present himself as a woman, lock kids into a school, and shoot them? We can all say, everyone, that was evil. But what do we actually mean by evil? Secularists, they don't have a faith component to it. I do. It's my worldview, and I'm telling you there is evil. It is on the march, and you got to guard your heart against it. You got to guard your heart. You got to protect your kids. And how do you do that? Faith. You should be a part of a church community. But I'm telling you, evil's on the march out there, and it's not some abstract just word we throw around for bad things that happen from bad people. It's a real thing. And if you go to my Substack, if you see that picture, you see evil staring back out of a mirror, telling the shooter in Minnesota, kill yourself, kill what he heard in his head. That is evil. It's real. It's not an abstract thing. It's not just a word we say for bad things. It's real.
Follow Eric on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Search EW Erickson.
221 Coolray Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Heads up if you were traveling downtown. We got a new stall in the second left lane, 7585 southbound University Avenue, exit 244. That's going to add to an already slow ride. Southeast leg of the perimeter. Right lane crash, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, Flat Shoals, exit 48. And big rig trouble continues in the right lane on the west side inner loop, 285 northbound South Atlanta Road, exit 16. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Now at Whole Foods Market, get 20% off, 80% lean ground beef with Prime through September 2nd. As always, there are no antibiotics ever while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It's the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. This hour's keyword is tune. T-U-N-E. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is tune. T-U-N-E. Join me live at 3 for the Von Hessler Doctrine, and I'll have your next keyword and chance to win at 5 p.m.
Avoid the stress of listing your home on the market and sell your home fast for all cash with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about repainting your scuffed up walls or fixing your leaky faucet. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer allows you to bypass the market, receive an all cash offer, and close in as little as 21 days. There are no showings, no open houses, and no costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate makes selling your home stress-free. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hey guys, you looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? We'll get Advanced Hair's breakthrough one-day treatment during their once-yearly summer savings event. It's Mark Aaron back with you. Check this out. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during Advanced Hair's best offer ever. For details and free consultations, call 470-660-HAIR or online at advancedhair.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 1-pint containers of blueberries or 6-ounce containers of raspberries. They're on sale 2 for $5 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Dave Baker here with a custom spacious closet from Artisan. You'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
All the news, weather, and traffic you need. 95.5 WSB. Want to be on the show? Come on, be on the show. Call Eric now at 877-973-7425.
Y'all, while we're talking religious stuff, I got a prayer request. This is serious. I'm on in Kansas City, Missouri, live on KMBZ, 980 AM KMBZ. And those people need some serious prayers out there, because with this Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift announcement of their engagement, those people in Kansas City, they're just going to want to watch the Chiefs. And they're not going to be able to watch the Chiefs because the media obsession of the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift is going to overwhelm coverage of the game. I mean, look when they first started dating, what it was like. This is going to be that on steroids. That to the extreme. Pray for the people of Kansas City, not just because it's, I mean, as crime-ridden as it has become. My goodness gracious. I got a buddy of mine who's got a radio show out there talking about the parking lot fights and crime in parking lots in Kansas City. It's just not safe. And now you got the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce coverage. People just want to unplug and watch the football game and not think about the crime in Kansas City, and they're not going to be able to because they got to deal with this. It's a serious issue for the soul of the people of Kansas City. So pray for the people of Kansas City and my listeners on KMBZ that they're going to be able to have a sane football season that allows the football to dominate over the Kelce Swift news. Now, I got to tell you about Swiss America. They are warning people about a secret war on cash, and they would love to give you their report, The Secret War on Cash, completely free. All you have to do is call or text them. 800-289-2646 is the number. The report is completely free. Just text my name, Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 800-289-2646. All that war on cash includes digital forms of currency. The government is trying to control your spending and monitor you. You need to get the report. Just text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 800-289-2646. You can also go to SwissAmerica.com/Eric, SwissAmerica.com/ERICK. Get the report completely free from Swiss America. Let them educate you on how to protect your hard-earned assets right now with their report completely free. 800-289-2646 or SwissAmerica.com/ERICK. Message and data rates may apply. When we come back, some phone calls, 800-877-973-7425.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
The Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office identifies 57 sets of cremains.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
We've got it covered.
Atlanta jurors convict a former Customs and Border Protection officer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station. Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 2:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top local story. Nearly a year after the shooting at Appalachian High School, Barrow County first responders and multiple law enforcement agencies take part today in a training exercise at Holson-Beck Elementary School. Nicole Vallis with Barrow County Schools says drills like this are vital.
When we did it in March of 2024 before the incident, and after, it did help them know better how to respond and how they would work together.
The exercise mimics real events. Federal agents find kilos of fentanyl and high-powered weapons hidden inside a home in Stone Mountain.
Dangerous drugs, 5.5 kilograms of fentanyl inside a diaper bag and then 2 firearms underneath a mattress.
U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says an illegal immigrant from Mexico is facing federal charges and is held without bond. DEA agents conducting surveillance saw the 25-year-old suspect handling suspected illegal drug proceeds worth about $400,000 and distribute fentanyl. Fulton County will not be fined $10,000 a day over the unfilled Republican election board seats. A judge today is delaying the order to let the appeals process play out. Commission Chair Rob Pitts calls the delay great news for the taxpayers of Fulton County. Atlanta's among the cities where it'll cost the most for a Labor Day barbecue. A recent analysis of ingredients ranks Atlanta in the top 3 for the highest increase in cost. The price of steak, lettuce, and cooking oil are all up from a year ago. It is now 2:32. This news sponsored by FGA Roofing.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT core body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Guys, it's Eric, and you can save thousands right now at the Georgia Spa Company on a new hot tub, cold plunge, sauna, swim spa. Why? The Labor Day sale is happening now through September 1st. You got manufacturing rebates happening now you're not going to see for the rest of the year. I've got a hot tub from Georgia Spa Company. I got it in my backyard. I get out there, and it is perfect relaxation. And I'll do it in the summertime, even when it's hot out. But now, with the fall coming, with the temperature settling down, with a cool breeze in the air at night, it is the ultimate in relaxation. You can certainly share it with your friends and family. I throw everybody out, spend the night in the dark, looking at the shooting stars. It's ultimate relaxation. It is good for me to do. It's good for you to do. Go to GeorgiaSpaCompany.com today. They've got multiple Metro Atlanta locations. Take advantage of these massive manufacturing rebates on hot tubs, cold plunges, saunas, swim spas, and more. It's GeorgiaSpaCompany.com. The Labor Day sale happening right now.
Start your day refreshed with a delicious breakfast sandwich deal from Quick Trip. Choose from classics like the sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, the ham, egg, and cheese biscuit, or the melty bacon, egg, and cheese grilled cheese. And get ready to really wake up because it comes with
any small Red Bull of your choice, all for $5. Woo! Let's go!
That's any breakfast sandwich.
Plus a Red Bull for just $5. Yeah!
QT.
More than a gas station.
At 2:34, Alex Williams in the traffic center.
Travel advisory, Southside Perimeter Bill, car on its roof, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, Flat Shoals, exit 48. Only 2 left lanes are open. Right now, they're holding all lanes to get the tow truck on scene. You're jammed up back to Moreland Avenue, use I-20 eastbound. And if you were traveling downtown, it is a mess. Southbound from the 85-400 merge, 30 minutes down to I-20. Northbound stacked in from Highway 166, Langford Parkway, up past Peachtree, Pine Street. Alex Williams, 95.5 WUSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 85.
And a small rain chance for tomorrow. Right now it's 82 in Duluth, 85 in Ackworth, 82 in Hampton. More news at 3 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Oh my! Welcome. It's Eric Erickson here. Man, the conspiracy theorists are just out in rare form today. Rare form. The emails I'm getting, the inside jobs for 9/11, and the great conspiracy of governments to set wildfires, among other. Just okay. Real quick, before I get to phone calls, and the phone calls here, 877-973-7425. Joni Ernst has decided to not seek re-election in 2026. The announcement is coming soon. She's been very strong on national security. She ran for office, and I actually moderated one of her very first debates. I was invited up to Iowa by Bob Vanderplatz to be the moderator of a debate between the Republican candidates up there back when she ran the first time. And she struck me as she wasn't my favorite candidate going into the race, and she was so compelling on that debate stage and then went on to win. I knew she was going to win based on her performance on that debate stage. She'd ride around Iowa on her Harley. She got divorced. Her husband turned out to have been abusive. She's in an abusive relationship, got out of it, and has been just a steady voice for national security and dealing with China in Washington, D.C. She's been there for 2 terms, deciding not to run again. Kind of a big deal for Iowans there, as the Iowa Republican Party, with the governor, Kim Reynolds, also not running for re-election, opens the door for the Democrats in a state that's trended right, but for which the Democrats have for a while now thought they could get back into office. Now, I want to go to the phones. Jeff is calling. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm really enjoying your show today. It's really been good. And my question was about the shooter and everything. He went through these things, and if it's a spiritual problem, we can't fight it physically. So if he wouldn't go to a church or something like that, what would be the way to fight back? Because there's got to be a way that people can logically fight back against these things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the biggest one is, frankly, the one that's getting mocked by all the people on the left. The one they do not want you to do, prayers. It's very notable that the secularists don't want you praying at times like this. That's exactly what you should do. Let me, yeah, you know what? Might as well. It's Friday afternoon. A lot of you say, well, I prayed for someone, prayed for your wife who had cancer, and cancer has gone away. We have a friend who died of brain cancer a couple weeks ago. A lot of prayers that God would perform a miracle, and it didn't work. It doesn't always. At least not in the way you want it to. But I can't tell you the number of times where I have crawled out of bed in the middle of the night, unable to sleep, and just started praying about stuff. And it does my brain good. People who have a strong prayer life, people who are in church regularly, tend to live longer. Here's why I believe in the power of prayer. Probably way more theology this week than there should be on the program, given events, though. Let me just tell you. So, Christy was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in 2016, but in 2006, she was given 6 months to live. I lost my job the day that my wife was given 6 months to live, and our daughter, who turned 20 yesterday, was only a 1-year-old at the time. And I remember going home. I lacked the strength to even get us inside. It was raining. I got the kid out of the car. I had to be the one to tell my wife she was going to die. Left the hospital, got my kid, sat in the mud in the rain crying. She was patting me on my face as if it was all going to be okay. I got her up, got her inside, and just started praying. And didn't even know what to pray, just prayed. Turns out my wife was misdiagnosed. She didn't have lung cancer, but here's the funny thing. 10 years later, she was diagnosed with lung cancer, and she was diagnosed with lung cancer because that misdiagnosis in 2006 got sent to the Mayo Clinic for proof that she didn't have the cancer. And in 2016, it was the Mayo Clinic that called and said, hey, we're starting to see cancer appear in people who have this condition in your lungs. We think you have lung cancer. You need to come out to the Mayo Clinic. So she flew out to Arizona, and sure enough, she had it. And then they said, well, there's a Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida you can go to that's closer to you. It's 4 hours away. But the guy who discovered this form of cancer you have is in Atlanta, an hour from your house, and he is now her doctor. And he helped develop the medicine. And you can say, okay, those are a series of coincidences. They're unconnected. Yep, you're absolutely right. In 2009, my son had been born. In 2008, 2009, he's one now. And my wife's health, because of the situation in her lungs, before we knew it was cancer, was causing problems. And she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Y'all, I worked for a company. I had been working for this company since 2006. 2007, really, January 1st of 2007. It's 2009. I hadn't had a pay raise. There wasn't a contemplated pay raise. I had insurance through my wife's job. And I knew she needed to stay home, but we couldn't make it work. I literally went to Dillard's and got a job application and figured, I could sell suits at Dillard's in the evening. I didn't want to, but I needed to make more money. My wife was going to be losing her income. And in addition to losing her income, we were going to find insurance somewhere, because my job at the time, everybody worked in Washington, D.C., and the insurance only applied to people who lived there. That they didn't have insurance for somebody like me who worked remotely. And started praying. We're like, we're going to pray. And my wife's boss, who's totally on board with her staying home, just a dear and wonderful person to this day, just a great guy, and gave her a huge bonus through her job to be able to tide us over until I could figure something out. And she made that decision like a weekend. We really prayed about it. She talked to her boss on the Tuesday. That's when he gave her the huge bonus. And that day, that evening, my boss called me from Washington and said, hey, we're changing things for next year. Don't know your situation, but you'll be able to get insurance through the job. Like just spontaneously. And then he says, and by the way, we realize we've never given you a pay raise since you started working for us. You know what my pay raise was? I'm not making this up. Gross. It was gross, the amount of money my wife was losing from her paycheck. The exact amount of money that my wife was making was my retroactive pay raise, because they had not given me a pay raise ever and had realized it. And I was entitled to some bonuses, and they just upped my pay. And then when we factored in insurance, it was still going to take a hit. And by the end of the week, CNN called and said, hey, would you like to be a contributor on CNN? I went from making not a lot to making quite a bit in a 1 week period. And again, you can look at that and say it's coincidence. But yeah, it's remarkable. We were praying that God would open doors. He would provide for us financially, given our student loans and mortgage and everything else. Like my car literally was held together with duct tape at the time. Dave Ramsey all the time says, don't get new cars, buy used cars, buy what you can afford. Y'all, I buy a new car, and I buy a new car because for years I drove a car that was held up with duct tape. I replaced one that had to have duct tape on it with one that had to have duct tape on it, and finally I'm like, I now make enough money, I'm buying myself a new car. And I did. You can look at each individual act and say, well, yeah, coincidence, yeah, okay, whatever. But I'm telling you, in my life, every time I have engaged in prayer, things have happened. And it hasn't always been what I wanted. Has not always been what I wanted. But it's always worked out, most often, better than what I expected. Much better than what I expected. Oftentimes you pray for stuff, you don't get what you want, you get something better. And oftentimes you pray and you don't get what you want at all. Do you think my friend's family, she died of brain cancer? Do you think they weren't praying for a miracle? We were praying for a miracle. We didn't get it. But I'm encouraged so often by the prayers where I see it that I know there's something I'm not seeing. And so in those occasions, I just got to trust God, trust my faith. Because, one, I believe in the sovereignty of God. I think he's in charge. And God says that, Scripture says that, ask and you'll receive. So we asked and we didn't receive. Why not? Because you said ask and receive. This is the problem with the prosperity gospel. You know, if they say God says ask and you'll receive, and you didn't receive, you must not have prayed hard enough. You must not have been sincere enough. And it bogs you down in a guilt of prosperity gospel is a heresy. No, if you didn't get what you prayed for, you didn't get the miracle. You didn't get the cure for your wife's cancer. I say this as someone whose wife has an incurable form of cancer. Can tell you I pray a lot for that miracle, and it hadn't come yet. It may not come this side of the grave. But I tell myself, you know, I might be missing something. There might be something in a big picture. Heard a story a while back of a kid who came to faith in high school. And his goal was to be able to stand up in front of his entire class and share the gospel message with them. That's what he wanted to do. Big high school, wanted to stand up in front of the class and share the gospel. And that's what he wanted to do. Everybody knew he wanted to do it. There was never an opportunity for him to do it. It never happened. Along the way, he befriended a kid who was probably he was the local drug dealer or some such. Secondhand story here, so just bear with me. But befriended a kid who was the local drug dealer, bad kid, bad home, broken family. Started spending time with him. Started inviting the kid over to dinner. Started having the kid stay at his house more and more because of the situation in his family. Well, one kid graduated, never got to stand in front of the school. The bad kid, the drug dealing kid, the kid with the collapsing family, converted, started going to church, turned his life around, and the principal at the high school wanted to put a spotlight on some of the kids who were making a difference in the school to encourage the other kids, and had that kid stand up because everybody knew how bad he was, how bad he had been, and how good he had become. And he stood up there and shared his conversion story, his gospel message. The one kid had prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed that he would get the opportunity to do that, and he did. He just did through somebody else, not himself, because it's not about him. Prayer works. When I hear people like Michael Steele, who used to offer prayers, now say it's a lie, you know, we're catechized by those we surround ourselves with. The things we tell ourselves, the things our friends tell us. If you're sitting around a bunch of people hostile to faith, if you're sitting around with a bunch of people who mock it, who scoff at it, who say it's not real, you're probably going to mock it and scoff it and say it's not real. You probably are. We're catechized by the people we surround ourselves with. And so when you surround yourself with a bunch of people who say it's not real, you're probably going to believe it's not real too. And you get to people like Michael Steele, who used to be willing to profess his faith and offer prayers, and now he's surrounded by the folks at MSNBC, and he says it's a lie, it's nothing, it means nothing. We're catechized by the people we surround ourselves with. There's power in prayer. How do you deal with that kid? I mean, obviously the church wasn't there I mean, they were in a church and they got shot. I think the gospel message is stronger than we are and can withstand the bullets and the anger and the tears. But in the meantime, I can tell you in my own life, the power of prayer in my life, you can look at it all and say it's coincidence after coincidence after coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. Or you can look at it as I do and say it all adds up to something else happening out there, because all these things that should not have happened, that seemed impossible to happen, they all happened. Involved a lot of time on the knees and a lot of tears, and oftentimes a lot of yelling at God, angry at God, mad at God, but praying still. I wouldn't underestimate the power of prayer. There are a lot of people far smarter than you, atheists listening right now, who have long believed in the power of prayer. Before you dismiss it as hokum smokum nonsense, Consider Isaac Newton. Consider all the brilliant people throughout history who have believed, and understand that you in the modern 21st century America, it's an anomaly to reject the faith of your fathers. Most people throughout history have believed. You're the exception. And maybe what's off is you.
You're at the intersection of politics, news, culture, and current events. It's the Erick Erickson Show.
251 Cool Day Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Still dealing with the travel advisory in DeKalb County. Crash on I-285 eastbound. The outer loop, Flat Shoals, exit 48. 2 right lanes are blocked. You're jammed up before 675. Use I-20 eastbound. I-20 westbound in Lithonia. Crash in the left lane at Panola Road. And a red alert up in Hall County. 985 southbound Friendship Road, exit 8. Crash blocking all lanes. Use Highway 13. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Now at Whole Foods Market, get 20% off 80% lean ground beef with Prime through September 2nd. As always, there are no antibiotics ever while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
I just won $1,000 from WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 5
I am
p.m.
so excited.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Guys, it's Eric, and you can save thousands right now at the Georgia Spa Company on a new hot tub, cold plunge, sauna, swim spa. Why? The Labor Day sale is happening now through September 1st. You got manufacturing rebates happening now you're not going to see for the rest of the year. I've got a hot tub from Georgia Spa Company. I got it in my backyard. I get out there, and it is perfect relaxation. And I'll do it in the summertime, even when it's hot out. But now, with the fall coming, with the temperature settling down, with a cool breeze in the air at night, it is the ultimate in relaxation. You can certainly share it with your friends and family. I throw everybody out, spend the night in the dark, looking at the shooting stars. It's ultimate relaxation. It is good for me to do. It's good for you to do. Go to GeorgiaSpaCompany.com today. They've got multiple Metro Atlanta locations. Take advantage of these massive manufacturing rebates on hot tubs, cold plunges, saunas, swim spas, and more. It's GeorgiaSpaCompany.com. The Labor Day sale happening right now.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Your non-stop news source, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. Just joined us? No worries. Check out the Erick Erickson Show 24/7 stream at erickerickson.com. Available for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
All right, Dave, you got about a minute and a half here. I wanted to get your call in. Welcome. How are you?
Doing well. I just want you to know I enjoy the show.
Thank you.
I was listening to you talk about your professional experience and job experience and with your wife, and it reminds me of something. I was out working a hurricane for an all-volunteer organization, which I won't mention their name, but their logo is a cross that's colored in with red. And I was a volunteer, and I was out working cases, going up to people who had been affected by a storm in Pensacola. And I went to every house in this neighborhood, and just to understand, the water was going 50 to 60 miles an hour down the middle of the street.
Yep. Dave, got about 30 seconds.
Okay. Anyway, I contacted everybody except for one person who is the director of emergency services for Escambia County. Finally ran into him, says, I need to give you some money, blah, blah, blah. You've got a lot of kids. And all of a sudden, I said, let's say a prayer. You're not supposed to do that with this organization. We said a quick prayer. As soon as the prayer was over, he got a call from his minister. And his minister said, be in church on Sunday with your whole family. Being a preacher's son, I took that to mean you're getting a check.
Nice.
And I asked my fridge, and I think that happened. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you.
Dave, look, I appreciate it. Don't underestimate the power of prayer. It really does work. Y'all, I got to tell you about Vision Computer before I get out of here. Call them at 404-COMPUTE. They can be your managed care solution for IT. And by the way, somebody told me yesterday that Windows 10 end of life is October 14th. That's my anniversary. No end of life for my marriage, but for your Windows 10 machine. And if you need to get it updated to Windows 11, call Vision. They can help you because you're not going to get service patches anymore from Microsoft. So Vision can help you with that too. Call them at 404-COMPUTE or go to visioncomputers.com. 404-COMPUTE or visioncomputers.com. Let Vision help you. They can take care of your machines. They can be your managed IT solution. If you need them for your personal computer, you need somebody to help you with your computers. $199 a year. That's it. Maybe a little less if you tell them Eric sent you. Call them at 404-COMPUTE or go to visioncomputers.com. Visioncomputers.com, 404-COMPUTE. Let them build your machine, service your machine. Great people. You guys have a great rest of the day.
WSB's looking for a home for Smidgen. Chris Chandler here from Atlanta's Morning News, and she is our dog of the month. With Paws Atlanta, we're looking for Smidgen's new family. Sweet brown and white mixed breed, about 2, great for older kids. Meet her at WSBRadio.com. Our sponsor, Findlay Roofing, will pay the adoption fee for you, too. WSBRadio.com/dog.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard.
I need to give a second warning about something I talked about months ago, and that is when you're renting a car, you need to know the danger of renting from Hertz Rent-A-Car. Hertz Rent-A-Car has implemented a new AI system